SWETZ.
And I'm Steve.
I used to be an average, ordinary guy. So one day a pair of magical glasses fell from the heavens and gave me the powers and rhythms of an electronic future. Now with my glasses and my cousin Steve,
I just like to be on the internet.
we're ushering in the future electronic.
SWETZ.
Steve, this is the SWETZ and Steve Show.
I checked out the show, the SWETZ and Steve show. Seems like you guys have fun on there. It's pretty cool.
Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Welcome to the SWETZ and Steve Show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We all float down here.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 20 of the SWETZ and Steve Show. Oh. What's going on, everybody?
20 episodes deep.
What's that?
20 episodes deep. Who would have known we would have made it past episode 2?
You know, I think when every time I see that number go up, Steve, it gets crazier and crazier. You know what I mean?
Does.
I can't believe it, man. But yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 20 of the SWETZ and Steve Show. We got a great show for you tonight. We got lots of family in the house. You know what I mean? We got Leanna in the house saying hi. What's going on, Leanna? Shout out to Leanna, the personal spiritual reader of Paranormal in the Funhouse, but also she's the SWETZ and Steve Show's personal reader as well. You know.
Friend of the show. Absolutely. Tonight we have a very special guest.
He's my brother, but he's also a Marine. We have my brother Daniel. What's going on, Daniel?
How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. You know, when we talked about putting you on the show, I thought that was it would definitely be a good conversation, given like all the years and the time and the effort that you put into it, and I think we're really gonna have some interesting conversation, and I'm sure you have a lot to tell as well from your time in the service, man. But let me see who's going on, who's shouting out in the chat. Let's see, we got Leanna here, of course. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and share this out, by the way. Hell yeah. Who liked it? Mickey liked it. Thank you, Mickey. Stosh liked it. Thank you, Stosh. Leanna, Maria, AF. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Can we break the record? Our record is 26 for live consecutive viewers. Can we hit 30 tonight? I don't know. It's all on you guys, Let's see if we can make it happen, We got Big Gamer in the house. He says, if I'm not wrong, it's not Halloween, it's Christmas. Well, you're right about that. Big Gamer. Stosh says, what's up? What's going on, Stosh? You bad mother. Hola, what's up? Yeah. The best right now. Beef. Grant says beef in the chat. Poop dollar is gone, apparently, Steve. I think, are you happy about that? Are you all right with beef?
Less Grant, better show. Love to put it like that. Less Grant, better show.
Thank you for serving. I respect everything you've done. Oh, hell yeah. There you go. That's for you, Daniel. Lisa's in the chat. What's going on, Lisa? She's, hey, guys. What's going on, Lisa? Hope you're having a wonderful night. Leave a W for this tube. Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, leave a big D. How about that? You think that's more appropriate?
M. Leave an M. M for Marine. M for Marine. M for Martinez.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess my idea coming on for the show was just kind of like I look at myself as like a pretty sociable person, but I just wanted to get on a bigger platform, I guess, and see just see what I have and just kind of put myself out there to the fire a little bit and see if
bro,
see if I can talk and
they're dropping. They're dropping D's, they're dropping W's, they're dropping M's for you right now in the chat, dude.
Let me just tell you right now, Daniel, there is no bigger platform than the SWETZ and
That's
Steve
right.
show.
Yeah.
Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Okay, there is no bigger platform for you to step up to. Happy to have you on the show. One thing that I just want to say is that I am, for a change, actually intimidated. A couple weeks ago, Leanna made me a little squeamish, little squirmish. This week, I'm a little intimidated because, one, Daniel's voice is not the way it was when he left for the Marines, so I don't know what they did to you. And two, look at that jawline, that chiseled jawline. Good grief. The reason why I have a beard this thick is because, I'm heavier set. I'm in my 30s and I'm heavier set. I had a chocolate milkshake and my ass jiggled for a week. This guy's over here. He's cutting diamonds with his chin. He's sitting there on the side. Good grief.
Hell yeah. Yeah, make sure to show my brother some love in the chat. Hell yeah. It looks like they're showing a lot of love anyway. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. We got Brandon Crotty in his house. He says in the hospital, but got my love for the fun. Hell yeah. That's right, Brandon. Best wishes to you, Brandon. I hope you get well soon, man. And hopefully you get out of there, man. Let's everybody also shout out Brandon Crotty. Show Brandon and the Funhead family some love in the chat, if you don't mind. Big Gamer says, hey, Daniel. Hell yeah. Designer Grant is this D. Hell yeah. As Josh Nichols says, my brother. That's what Mickey said. Leanna left the W. Mickey left the M. Lucy Freeman said, we love us some Leanna. Where is Eggplant Guy? I don't know. I think I don't know where Kaz is right now. His mouth is better though. He doesn't have. Last time I checked on him, he doesn't have a hurting jaw, so that's good. Oh shit, we got Lord Panatra in the chat. What's up, fellas? Hail to Lord Panatra.
We are, as they call, lit. I'm telling you, Daniel, you wanted the biggest platform. There is no bigger platform.
Hell yeah, dude. We got Lord in the house. Hell yeah. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and share this out. Show some love for my brother. We got George WWW. Thank you, Lucy. Mickey says, big Martinez energy here today. You got that right, Mickey. Designer Grant, here's Steve talking on his high horse. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Grant, do me a favor. When my horse takes a shit, make sure you clean it up for me. Okay, real quick?
Mayday Coast Guard. This is the Orcas card. Oh, my gosh. No, the Orcas don't need saving. I don't know what you're talking about, Big Gamer. I don't know what Big Gamer's talking about. Leanna says, Brandon, get out of there or I will shrink your brain. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Why don't we go ahead and get the show kicked off? You know what I mean? Daniel, why don't you kind of tell me about this, man. So you are a Marine, as the audience clearly knows now. You are my brother. When you
my cousin.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Steve's cousin. I can't forget that. Of course. And if you have any questions for my brother about military related things, Marine related things, if you're so curious, drop them down in the comment section. And if I don't get to them, just repost it so I can get to your questions. But Dan, what made you want to join? What made you want to enlist in the first place?
In all honesty, and I think that goes for a lot of people, like at the end of the day, like I had gone through high school and then I had like brung my grades up. I would did okay in school, and I was like I really don't know what I want to do, and I was like I really don't want to like waste like money like going to school for something I didn't want to do. Yeah. So then it was just like and like honestly like it's like a lot of people's thing where they're like they don't know what to do, and then here comes a recruiter, you know, like talking in your ear, and you're like, hey, like I guess it's an option, you know. So let me do it. And that's just like the honest truth for like a lot of people. Like I guess like a lot of people can say like, oh, like you're doing like so much of a bigger thing, like all this stuff like that. But for a lot of people, it was just like, hey, like this is risky and like, but it does look cool. But a lot of
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, like I kind of don't really have a path right now. Like, let me just take this road and see what happens. And
Uh-huh.
a lot of goods and bads, but I almost out now, and I can't. I don't regret anything. So
Yeah.
it's been a journey for sure. But yeah, that's originally why I joined in September of 2017, and here I am now, 3 years and a few months later.
Yeah. So you went through this whole process, right? You kind of got started, and then I remember I remember at some point I was really into watching some of the first time
Yeah.
these recruits they go into they get off the bus and then they had to step on the yellow footprints and stuff. Like, you know what I'm talking
Actually,
about
the
when you first
audio's cutting out.
the audios. Can you hear me? Hello.
It's like choppy, like it was beforehand.
Maybe try oh shit, okay.
While
If
we're working through that technical problem, let me hit a
Uh-huh.
crew with the shower thought really quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Some people wonder their entire lifetime if they've made a difference in the world. Marines don't have that problem. How about it, Daniel? Huh? How about it, huh?
I'm just having a hard time hearing you guys. It's like really
Well,
choppy.
back out, then come back in. We'll hold down the fort for you. Can you hear that? All right,
Yeah.
go ahead. Let me look at some of these chats. Thank you all so much. We're gonna get Daniel back in here in just 1 second. Hold real tight. But let me see what you guys have to say. Let's see here. Let's see here. I will serve that shit to you on a silver platter. I think he's talking to you, Steve.
He spelled silver wrong. He's put sliver.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Talk again.
Hello.
Yeah, it sounds better. Sounding better.
Okay. Yeah, it's something to do with my mic or something. I don't know. Let's see here.
Might just be my end.
Danny is quiet. Yeah, it's gonna just make sure to speak up a little bit if you can. Apparently you're quiet. But
Okay. Try to
yeah.
speak up.
Bro, you certified Quint, you know what you certified. Big gamer, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's okay. I understand him. You mean well. El Santarina says, "Hey, love y'all. Thank you, Santarina. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys should watch Jaws 1. Oh my god. It would remind you so much. How would Jaws 1 remind you of me? I mean, I'm not a scary figure. I'm a nice guy, you know what I mean? You know. Lucy Freeman says, "Thank you for your service." Oh yeah. Leanna Lake, some emoting in the chat. Semper Fi, Mickey says. Badass. All right. So yeah, what I was saying before, right? What I was saying before was that so you sign up, you go on, you take the flight, you take the bus drives over and stuff, and then you show up at that one place. What's the base again in San Diego?
So basically, it differs. It differs on where you're at and relative to your state.
Yeah.
So basically, like the whole East Coast goes to another training depot in Carolina, South Carolina, and then basically like the Midwest. Most of the Midwest and the people to the west go to San Diego. So it's split. So not everyone goes to San Diego, but we went to. I went to San Diego boot camp, recruit training over there, and it's pretty weird because that's like the first time when you're like, once you like get on the plane and you get like sent off and you're on your way. That's really like the first time like you're on your own legitimately. Like from then on, you're like pretty much on your own for like the next 4 years. Now, yes, you like do come home every year or so, but like from there, like that's pretty much what starts your journey. Like in from there, there's no turning back once you make it through. So it's kind of weird if you look in a different perspective. Like that was just literally the start to just a whole different journey, and there's no there's no breaks, there's no nothing. It's just full steam ahead at that point.
So that night when you show up to that place where you have to hop off onto the bus and you had to get all that started, was like, were you like already in that zone? Like, did you like pregame your mind up to like be ready to handle that, or was it like, did like no amount of preparing could like kind of like get you ready to in that mindset? You know what I mean?
I mean, there's definitely things that surprise you for sure, but and I didn't learn this to this point, because I didn't learn this at this point, but at the very beginning. But no, not really. Like there's nothing that really can prepare you. It's not necessarily the like the most challenging thing in the world either, but it's also like it's so different than what anyone would experience. Now, there's
Uh-huh.
not really any way to prepare for it, like no matter what, because no matter what situation you could watch as many videos, like you just can't be in that atmosphere and feel like the pressure, I guess. And that's only
Yeah.
like pressure that you can feel like when you're there, and really when you're like on your own and you're just trying to like get through these like things like as a group, but at the end of the day, like you're actually there and then you have to figure it out. Like not like no videos or anything like that could really put you in that mind state, like just actually being there.
Hmm. So like, how long was the initial training period? Like, wasn't it like a few months or so?
It was 13 weeks, pretty sure.
13 weeks.
So,
And so like at what point did it like get to like you kind of get into a rhythm? Like at what point did it ever get into a rhythm during like
yeah,
that time?
I mean, I definitely got into a rhythm because, at least from the beginning, it's just like you're always gonna get your guaranteed 3 meals a day. So like if you just broke it, like break it down, and I still do this, you know what I mean, to this day. Like if you just break it down into your, like, all right, like all right, I made it to breakfast. You're like, all I gotta do is make it to lunch, and then all I gotta do is make it to dinner, and then now it's a little bit different because I'm like kind of more on my own schedule, but it's literally
Mm.
like the same idea. But over there, it was like once you kind of figured out that rhythm, and you're like, all right, now I have a few more hours till this, and then I go to sleep and I just repeat it. And once you get into that rhythm, like it's pretty it's pretty not easy, you know what I mean. But once you
Yeah.
find the rhythm, there's not much that can stop you after that. Once you already accepted what's to come and stuff like that.
When did
So
you when I'm sorry, Sweats.
no, go
When
ahead, go
was
ahead.
your when was your oh shit moment? You know what I mean? Because you come in, you're about a 18-year-old young man, and now you're in your early 20s, right? So you're about 18 years old when you go in, and then all of a sudden, you have somebody yelling at you and barking orders at you, right? On your first day. Did you ever question yourself throughout that time? Um, and if so, what helped you through that? If you want to go that deep, if you don't want to go that deep, just tell me, and I'll do a shower thought.
Well, I think I think one of the funnier times is so I forgot what day you usually come on a specific day. I think you usually come on like a Tuesday or something like that, and then they hold you for like for 2 or 3 days for like paperwork and like processing and stuff like that. And they have a day called Black Friday where you like pick up with your platoon and then you meet all your drill instructors and stuff like that. And then from there, like obviously like the drill instructors have to make like a really big impression because that's what they have to do. They have to like show their
Yeah.
presence. So so it's just really funny because looking back at it now, I can realize like what it's all like it's not fake, you know what I mean? But they're just normal people, I can look back at it now, but beforehand they were like wild animals. Like these dudes are some of the most like they have a term called squared away, and they're like it's like a term like they're like so neat and like so precise about everything they do. Like as far as their uniforms, like their haircuts, like everything is just like so precise. But then they also can like flip the switch at the same time and act crazy. So and start screaming. So we had went in there and we were all like lined up against our like racks or like beds or whatever. And then they just had us like screaming back at him, like running back and forth, and these drill instructors are like climbing over like like the bunk beds, like screaming at us, like making us move stuff from one side of the room to the other side of the room, and it's just like kind of like some of the stuff at the beginning seemed like kind of pointless, but it's not really. It's more like just like learning how to follow orders, even the simplest of orders, like right away and like fast, and then it turns into bigger things, you know. But if you start off small and you start off like if you like work on the small stuff first, like the bigger stuff like comes. If that makes sense, I'm trying to word it better, but if you focus on the details, the bigger stuff comes like a little bit easier too. Like you won't mess with the bigger stuff. So that and then I guess it's just nonstop. You always have like a plan because it's 13 weeks and they have a lot of stuff to do. So, so I think, and it's physical, you know what I mean? Especially if you haven't like really done too much like preparation beforehand. So I think we have these different, like, how do I put it? Like training standards, I guess. Like there's like these different, how do I put it? Like physical fitness tests. And then we had just done one. It's like this is like a 3 mile, like a certain amount of pull-ups, a certain amount of like this stuff, right? And then I had like messed up my leg, like I had like felt like I tore something in my leg. So we had finished. I did really good, and then my leg was just messed up. And we're like marching back because that's what we do. We were marching back, and then I just kept walking, and it was hurting. And like with the marching, you have to be like on point with it. You have to like be good at it, and like you can't really mess up anything because you're gonna get yelled at. So I'm just like sitting here, and I can barely bend my leg, and I'm trying, and I'm like, I already just know I'm gonna get yelled at, and but I literally can't. And then the drill instructor comes over here and he yells at me, and I'm just like confused because I'm like, well, he's telling me to do this, but my leg can like physically not do that. And I just like in my head, I was like, I was gonna like, I'm not gonna like shed a tear or nothing like that. But there was a moment where I'm like, all right, bro, like come on now, what can I do? And I can't talk back to him. But my leg really hurts, and I'm like, ah. So I just kind of kept walking, and I think he had talked to me like on the side. I told him my leg was hurt. He's like, why the fuck didn't you just say that, stupid? I didn't know how to like come at him.
I'm tired of you yelling at me.
I didn't know what to do. And then he snapped back into his like mode. He was like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to medical, do this and that. And I was just sitting here like, I was like, you get so scared to say certain things sometimes, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just one of those times where I was like, damn, like maybe I should have just said something instead I made like a way bigger deal. But
actually, to kind of coincide that question, Leanna had a good question. Has your personality changed since you went in? I could say that from a yes, but I mean, go ahead and answer yourself, Dan. Shout out to Leanna, by the way. Put an L in the chat for Leanna.
Put a double L because L means something else. Put a LL.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. LL. Shout out to Lisa as well. She says thank you for your service.
Thank you. So I would say like there's a difference between like, I'd say to me like there's a difference between like personality and like characteristics of who you are as a person. If that makes any sense. Like personality, I think of like as far as myself as like how I am like as like a person that's outgoing and stuff like that. Like how I am like talking and like like I would think of it in the other way as like how far as like my leadership is and other things like that. But as a person, I think I've changed. I've learned a lot for sure. Like I've learned the most I have in here, just like learning how to roll with the punches and just the biggest thing I've learned honestly is just like how to be a leader, honestly. And that's just as far as like my Marine Corps, like being a Marine and stuff like that, learning how to be a leader and all that kind of stuff. But like as far as like me, like on a personal note, like who I am, not as like my rank or nothing like that, but me as a person, I think I think I just learned how to be more spontaneous and be more open to like a lot of meeting new people and stuff like that. Because I think that's one thing that the military has done for me is like I've met some of the best people like ever, like dudes that I consider like my best friends, like my brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just being more more open to meeting new people and just like not being afraid to like take certain chances and like taking like leaderships, not being able to take the lead on certain things. So that's probably one thing for sure. And just maturing overall in general, like just overall maturing. And I don't know if that has come with my age, but also like the military. But I think it's a little combination of both because there's certain stuff that 18-year-old, a 19-year-old. I'm 22 now, but there's certain stuff that like I should like wouldn't normally be in charge of at all if I was just in the normal like civilian like realm, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's a good one. El Santarina says, "Mama's train you for all that yelling," and then Mickey agrees. That's very true. Would you agree with that statement, Steven?
I actually have a shower thought. Let me find it real quick. Hold on.
Right.
Oh yeah, here it is. Growing up is feeling bad for the employee that your mom is yelling at. You Martinez boys know a little something about that, don't you? Don't you Martinez boys know a little something about that? I know Mama Julie, if she's watching, she knows what's up. You better not mess up that order at McDonald's. Tell you what.
She might be the
fucking onions.
Yeah, she might be the sole reason why Wiseway shut down over here on Route 30.
Yeah.
Or Broadway. You don't know where that's at, but
there's when I got my second job, I think I was 16. Because my first job was at Ace Hardware, and then my second job was at this restaurant.
My first job was at Ace Hardware too.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But go ahead, Daniel.
We got Kathy in the chat, by the way. Shout out to Kathy.
Yeah, and so I started working at this restaurant, and it it went good, but the funny thing was that the owners were never there, and the manager was like a kind of a greasy dude. Like he was just there to collect his paycheck, and he would just take smoke breaks every like 30 seconds, you know. So I didn't like the guy, but the show was ran by literally like sophomores in high school, like sophomore. It was literally just all of us, like me and my buddies, like somewhat good friends in like high school, and we just ran the show. And sometimes it got really hectic, and I think that's when I learned my appreciation for fast food workers, because that stuff is not as easy as you think.
Yeah. No, yeah. A lot of them though.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
I worked at Ace Hardware too, and at this point, I'm 18, 19. I had no ambition to go into the military, let me tell you right now. So I stayed my ass behind a register at Ace Hardware. And I remember I had just gotten a job with UPS. And I remember I was working 2 jobs. It was the summer. I had some money in my pocket. I was feeling good. So this lady came in, and she started like mouthing off to me.
No.
So I gave it back to her. I said, I don't need this shit. I'm working 2 jobs. I said, I don't need this shit. I was making $5.15. Were you making more at Ace Hardware?
Whoa,
Daniel?
$5 an hour?
$5.15.
What?
Nah, I
Barely
think
could afford.
I think I was making 8, honestly.
Damn, your Ace Hardware. Well, they're individually owned, but your Ace Hardware was more.
Are we talking about the 90s? Like the 90s?
90s? Get the hell out of here, 90s.
No, I just asked this question, Steve.
Jeez Louise. No, I was in 8th grade. I graduated 8th grade in the year 2000, I think. Mickey, can you look up when I graduated from 8th grade, by the way? Anyway, this was like early 2010, like 2010 type of thing. But anyway, yeah, I was making $5.15. Yeah, she knows. She knows what it was. I was making $5.15 an hour, and the lady was giving me shit. So I gave it back to her, and she goes, I want to speak to your supervisor. And I leaned over the counter and I said, lady, I am the supervisor. And so I got I got in trouble. I got fired for that. I only had one job after that. So that was
that's beautiful. Yeah, that was that was a life altering decision. You know, I think all that spunk that you had that day eventually would transfer over into what you do now here on the show, Steve. You kind of froze up though. Steve's kind of, look at Steve. He's frozen up. That's beautiful. Look at my cousin. That's amazing right there. Let me take a look at the chat, see what's going on. Okay, it's refreshing. You're good. You're good now. You're back. It just kind of does that every now and then. Let me get to some of these chats. Let's see here. We got Jason in the chat. What's going on, Jason? You bad mother. We got Lana. We thank you for all of you do for us. Hell yeah. Thank you, Leanna. Speaking of Leanna, double L's. Double L's for Leanna, from Mickey, from Lucy, badass, from Jason. Hell yeah. We got Kathy in the chat. What's going on, Kathy? Let's see here. You're gonna far. Thank you for answering. That is awesome. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you answered Leanna's question, Daniel. Let's see here. A lot of responsibility for such young people. Oh yeah. Let's see here. And Martinez girl, Steve. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see what else here. R.I.P. Wiseway. Yeah, R.I.P. You know, my mom single-handedly chased them out of town. You know, they're still in town, but not close to where we are. Shout out to mom. We got Vince in the chat. What's going on, Vince? We got Christina in the chat as well. What's going on, Christina? Good to see you guys here. Steve, your dad told us this story. Very funny. I think so. I think I remember hearing that story before, but it's still good to hear.
He was so mad at me. He was so mad at me when I told him because I remember the day. I remember that day, and my parents were at a pool. So I called my dad. I said, Dad, you won't believe this. They fired me. They fired me. That place can't run without me. It existed for like 30 years before I even was born. Ace Hardware is still going strong. And I said, Dad, they fired me. And he said, so you lost a day of pay, huh? And I think he hit me. I think he slapped me. I was like 19 years old, and I think he slapped the shit out of me. It was.
Did
great.
it hurt?
No.
Issues with the audio again.
How about now? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Nothing? Nothing at all? All right, just let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to keep going through the chat here. Yikes, minimum wage was bad back then. I didn't know it was that bad, Steve. Was it really minimum wage that bad?
Times were hard on the boulevard back then, let me tell you. Times were really hard on the boulevard. But you know what? I mean, it's all right. The ship has been right-sized, okay? We're doing good now.
The ship has come to shore. Is that what you're saying?
The ship has come to shore. Shower thoughts.
Oh, hell yeah. Here you go. Hell yeah.
All right, this is an interactive shower thoughts with everyone in the chat. So
hell yeah. Get ready, guys.
Along, get ready. Look at what's directly above you. Chances are that it's white. Can you put in the chat if what you looked at above you? So if you look up, is it white? Daniel, it's what it looks white. Everything, if you look up, does it look white? Is it white?
Can you hear us, Daniel?
He's looking at it like we're in the army.
Go back out and then come back in, Dan. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, someone who can text Daniel, just let him know what I'm saying. By the way, let's see here. All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat. We got Matthew in the chat, checking in early. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Quick shout out, by the way. Shout out to Mickey. She just today. She became the second supporter of the show. Thank you to Mickey and thank you to Matt for supporting the show. I appreciate it. If you'd like to support the show, go to the link in the description to our Anchor page, and there's an option down there if you want to make a monthly subscription to support the show. That's always appreciated. If not, hey, that's okay. Just make sure you like and share the stream out. That's always helpful as well.
Can
Uh,
you, can you hear us now?
are you
Okay,
hear
cool.
us now?
Yeah.
All right, good.
So that was early in your tenure as a Marine. As you've progressed throughout your tenure as a Marine, because now you're a corporal, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Lucy, I blink a lot, all right. I got a lot of stuff that wants to get in my eyes, okay? Give me a break. As you've progressed in your career as a Marine, um, is it standard or what does it take to advance to a corporal level?
And well, this day and age, it's really like just like a lot of like certain like courses that you need to take, and then also just like you just need to have a level of just like a level of like knowledge in your job, which is like the most important, but also just like they basically have like a scoring system or like a rating, I guess, like pros and cons of how you are like as a Marine and how you are as your job. So it's basically like a scoring system, and if you meet that scoring requirement as far as like how well you are at doing your job and just stuff like that, along with doing like the necessary courses that you have to take, uh, that along with like time in service. So it's not overly complicated, but it definitely like takes some time, to if you're on it, you will pick up like the proper ranks accordingly, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What you're supposed to.
One thing I was gonna ask you, bro, was so tell us about when you were first like when you first got your assignment for what you were like had to do throughout your time in the Marines when you had to operate the amphibious assault vehicles. Tell us what gearing and game prep for that experience was like, because I remember that you were kind of nervous about that because being around the sea and the water and stuff like that.
Yeah, so my first experience was that I grew up swimming. Swimming was pretty, seemed pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then I get to boot camp, and then I swim. They have like different levels. You have like basic, intermediate, advanced. So I went in knowing that I was gonna do one of three jobs. I was gonna either do what the job I do now, which is amphibious assault vehicles. I was gonna do artillery, or the third one was gonna be tanks. So I,
Uh-huh.
so I wanted to be tanks, but so I go in, and then I know I'm gonna be at least one of those three jobs. I go to boot camp, and then I pass my basic swimming, and then it's time for me to go to intermediate. And we're swimming, and we have to swim with like cami, like our whole like uniforms on, and that stuff gets heavy, our boots. So I don't pass it. I don't pass the advanced one, and or the intermediate one. And I'm just thinking, man, I don't know what happens now. Like, what job do I get? And they're like, oh, you're gonna go to something that you don't have to swim. And at this point, I'm afraid of the water now because they're yelling at you trying to swim, and like I feel like I'm gonna drown. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I don't want to swim anyways. I don't want to be in the water anyway. So I'm like, I was pretty upset at first, and then I realized like, hey, I was like, whatever. Like I don't want to be in the water. I go to my next because after boot camp, you have another set of training called MCT, or like Marine. I forgot what it stands for, but
Uh-huh.
Marine combat training or something like that.
Yeah.
So I do that. That's like a month and a half, I think, or some along those lines, and they give me my job, and I see it, and it says like amphibious assault vehicles, and I'm like, amphibious assault vehicle operator or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm like amphibious, like now I gotta swim, and at this point I'm scared, like I'm scared as hell of the water. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, if I have to swim, I'm screwed, like this, I'm done for. And then I go to, they drive me to my schoolhouse where I'm gonna learn. And then everyone who's stuck there who hasn't picked up with a training class is like, oh yeah, like you gotta swim and then you gotta do this. you have to do this dunker where they put you in like a mock vehicle and it spins you around in the pool and stuff like that. And I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I'm screwed. I'm gonna call my mom now. I'm gonna call my mom now. And I call on the phone. I'm gonna call on the phone. I'm like, hey mom. I gotta swim and I can't swim, and they're saying that I'm gonna be stuck here until I come back. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
She would have got you out of that jam, I'm sure.
I was like, I don't care, like, however much, like, whatever you go through, I guess, like, as long as you have someone to talk to, you'll be good. You'll get through it. So I called her, and she's like, oh, you're gonna be good. And I was just like, all right, yeah, we'll see what happens. And then it ended up all working out really well. Like, I ended up doing the swimming, and I passed the first time, and then I get lucky to go in the platoon, a platoon that was going to deploy. And so I was like, I was pretty happy, and it all worked out pretty well, honestly. Like, the one thing that I look back and I see some of the stuff that I thought was like some of the harder times. I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. Like, I always make it through. Like, it sucks, but I always make it through. And I think that's one of those things where I can look back at some of these situations. I'm like, hey, like, you didn't think you were gonna make it through this, but you did, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, mom, like, honestly, dude, like, mom gives really good pep talks. I'm pretty sure Mickey and everyone else would back me up, but like, she does really good like pep talks, dude. They're very comforting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but but back to this random. The training we have to do for the water stuff is pretty interesting. Like,
yeah.
so you have the basic like swimming, and then that's basically like I don't know how many yards it is or whatever, but it's like, I think it's like 10 laps in the pool with all, like, with all your utility, your like uniforms on. You're like swimming back and forth. It gets pretty tiring, and then you have to like jump from the diving board and do all that stuff. But the one that is actually cool and is actually like very helpful is it's called we call it the dunker, but it's basically like a mock vehicle like of ours. So it's a plastic vehicle.
Yeah.
So
even his fingers look intimidating.
But,
like, you put, like, if you look at my fingers, like, my fingers look like
I'll do
marshmallows.
There, let's see.
Do side by side. Look at his fingers compared to mine.
Put your fingers
up. The other way. Those are intimidating fingers. The other way. Go the other way. Those fingers are intimidating. If you look at my hands, put my hands up here. Look. There's nothing like.
They're nice.
You know, I just got a manicure the other day.
No, they're nice. They're nice, Steve. They're nice hands.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole everything about the water reminds me of a shower thoughts.
Oh shit! Okay, here we go.
It's ironic that you'll die if you can't swim, but after you die, you float. Isn't that weird, everyone? Doesn't that seem weird too?
Yeah, I mean, we all float down here. You know what I mean, Steve?
That's right. Like Pennywise says, we all float. All of the SWETZ subscribers float down here.
I definitely want to hear more about the specifics about that training and the amphibious vehicle stuff. I just want to say real quick, let's send some good vibes Kathy's way. She says, just had some cancer removed off my breastbone today. 13 stitches later, I am regretting turning down anything for pain. Let's send Kathy some good vibrations. All of our empaths in the chat, let's get to work and let's help Kathy out. Let's wish her a good hopefully less pain as the days go by and a speedy recovery from that. I hope you feel better about that, Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy, I hope you feel better.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on here. What's going on in the chat? Let's see here. Who had a tough mom? I think all of us had a tough mom in here.
Yeah, everyone here had a tough mom.
Grant says he blinks a lot so his makeup doesn't run down his face. I don't think Steve doesn't wear makeup. Great, Steve.
He's reaching. He's reaching.
Kathy says, I am very thankful for all the service men and women out there. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. And Julie, let's put a big old fat J. Everyone put a J in the chat for Aunt Julie. So show my Aunt Julie some love.
Thank you, Kathy. Hope you feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, can we get a big fat J from Listen, we got 10 people on YouTube. We got 7 people on Facebook and 1 person on Twitch. Let's get I'd like to see over half. I like to see. Can we at least get 10 J's in the chat? I like to see that for Aunt Julie. She says, Steven, tell him how you had to lick the frozen Coke off the freezer after I told you not to put it there. That I want to hear that story.
There's really nothing to say. I mean, she said it. I was I must have been 15 or 16 at the time, and you know, I revered my parents as any Hispanic male does. He has fear of his parents, and I put a Coca-Cola in the freezer because I wanted to drink it later, and it busted open, and my mother wasn't happy when she came home, and she forced me to lick it up from the freezer, and then my father saved me, and yeah, so that's the story right there. My mom is yelling at me. She's half my size, and I'm half of the size I am now. She's half my size, and she's forcing me to drink to lick open the can, the busted open Coke can in the freezer. So that was. But I mean, anybody out there who hasn't had a mother who's made them drink? I mean, to me, that's just normal, right? Like when I went to my friend's house. And I was just, and we would talk about crazy things our parents did. And I'd be like, one time I put a Coke in the freezer and my mom made me lick it up. My parents were like, or my friends would be like, whatever friends I did have, they'd be like, what? That's crazy. Like, my mom never did that. We didn't have Coca-Cola. We had juice boxes. It's like, that's, you know. You
that's
guys.
a wonderful story.
Sure, you guys.
We have, I mean, I don't know.
I have one specific story.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope she's watching too. Let me tell you.
She's watching. She's watching.
I hope Aunt Apple's watching right now.
Yeah, she's laughing.
One specific story I remember is there's a lot of us, you know, we all going to school in the morning, so we had to wake up early and eat our breakfast. So we're eating cereal, and then I get to the table late, and Matt had ate all the cereal, and this is like his 3rd bowl already. He eats all the cereal.
Damn it!
So, my mom's sitting at the table making sandwiches, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, he just ate all the cereal. Like, what am I supposed to eat now? So she takes the bowl of cereal that he still has, and she dumps it on his head since he wants to be greedy. And I just remember him looking at him with a mouthful of cereal with milk just running down his forehead, just in his eyebrows and his eyes, just like milk and like an occasional Fruit Loop just running down his face. And because he wanted to be greedy, so there we go. You get a bowl of cereal dumped on your head. Yeah.
I don't think I was around to see that, but I don't think I've. No, the thing that comes to mind is when I only went to school with one shoe. I only went to school with one shoe, and I didn't have the other shoe, and then she had to go back to get the other shoe. But that's the only thing I couldn't think of off the top of my head. I think Steve's frozen, so he'll probably come back. Let me see what's going on in the chat. We got lots of prayers and blessings for Kathy. Hell yeah, I like to see that. Thank you guys. What kind of stories we share? Pretty much any stories. Mainly kind of sticking to a lot of the Daniel's military stuff, though, Matt. Let's see here. Prayers for Kathy. Hell yeah. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Leanna. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Mark. Shout out to Mark Perez and the Chizette. Hell yeah. There you go. And now we got the J's. Hell yeah. We got 1 J. We got 2 J. Thank you, Matt. We got Christina saying J. 4 J's. Ooh, double J. Hell yeah. J. That's 5. That's 6. Hell yeah. 7. Hell yeah. There you go. Hell yeah. I like that. That's beautiful. Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. That's all for you, Aunt Julie. Hell yeah. Let's see here. What else is going on here? Thank you all for watching. Again, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Hi, Chrissy. Sorry, Matt. There you go. I still eat 3 bowls as my minimum. Hell yeah. Badass. Thank you, everyone. All right. Yeah, hell yeah. I think that's a good amount of J's. Thank you all. I appreciate that. But yeah, Dan, you were saying before about kind of explain what is the amphibious assault vehicle is? And then while you're saying that, I'll actually pull up some pictures of it. Honestly.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I have a lot of stories. It's not just.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just
Whatever you
stripping.
want to do.
I'm
Whatever
saying
you
it.
want. If there's something that's sticking out to you want to say right now, go ahead and say it, man.
No, I just for future reference. If
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
any,
yeah.
But I
Anyway.
guess one thing that I'm most interested in is what is the coolest mission you can share with us
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
you've
yeah.
been
That's a
on?
good question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you had to kill anyone? Have you had to kill anyone?
No.
Okay.
But
Are
I can
you
tell you
like
some
itching
funny.
for
I
like?
can tell you. I
Okay.
can tell you some funny stories that involves situations that.
Can I
that are
time
in
you
the
out
realm.
there for a second? Can I time you out there for a second? And Apple, I know that you're watching this. When you sent him to the Marines, his voice didn't sound like this. His voice
I
sounds
mean,
so coarse.
you also have to
And
think.
it's
I
like,
do.
"Ugh,
I
ugh,
do have
yeah."
my allergies right now, so.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, I have allergies. I don't sound like that. I sound like I have peanut butter in my mouth, and you sound like you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Rambo. Jeez Louise. But and Apple, can you comment? Can you validate me? Everyone's laughing at me and putting J's in the chat because I had to
Hell
drink
yeah.
frozen Coke out of the freezer. Can you validate me for once for our YouTube audience? And our Facebook audience and our Twitch audience and the audience that you will like, share, and subscribe. That his voice wasn't like this when he went to the Marines.
My favorite cereal is Rice Krispies. Whoever.
Oh, hell yeah. There you go.
Chocolate Cocoa Krispies. My bad. Cocoa Krispies.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Let's see here. What's going on? Jay all day. Hell yeah. And on top of eating 3 bowls of cereal, he always uses that big. Oh yeah, the big old bowl that he doesn't like anyone else using. That is true.
Wait,
That's the truth right
Steve.
there.
Could you?
What's up, man?
Nah, I feel like you got cut off. I feel like I accidentally cut
You
him
still
off.
hear me? What was your question again, Steve, for Dan? What was like the craziest story or like
what's
the mission?
Tell us. What mission were you
the
on?
Black Op? The Black Op, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
All right, he's thinking. He's
He
searching.
even blinks like a Marine. Like I blink, like everyone. I blink and everyone comments, and Grant thinks he's funny because he says I wear makeup, and he blinks and everyone's just like, "Thank you for your service." I get no respect.
I mean, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you what I was about to do next, but I just can't. And it's not even like I'm some like spec ops dude. It's just like just to be like, just to be on the safe side, I guess. But I guess one of the cooler things I did was it was really cool. We were in Jordan. If you know where that's at, it's in the Middle East. It's right next
Jordan
to
Baptist. Jordan Baptist in Oak Lawn. Yeah.
No, I think it's right next to Iraq.
Oh,
But,
okay. It's like right next door. It's right next
we
door.
were over there. We were over there, and that's where a lot of these funny stories happened. We were just working with the the Italians and all this stuff, and we were just doing like some training stuff. But it was really cool to see all like literally like 4 different countries just like all side by side, like and like machine guns from the top of the hill is just like it was just like a whole like group effort, and it was just like really cool to see. So
you were there.
I guess they were just like working with the other dudes.
So who else was there? You were working with the Italians. Who else was there?
There's the Italians, the Saudi Arabians, the Jordanians, and us. And the Italians, those are some cool dudes. Like they were like,
What were they like?
Those guys were legit. They were just like, when you think of like Italian military, like they were like that. Like they were all like 6'3", like had cool accents, like super cool stuff. Like we looked at them and like, all right, these dudes are badass. Like, and they were like super. They were just like super like just like welcoming and stuff like that. And I don't know. I guess like working with them was just pretty cool. Like just actually doing stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, Mainly, like it's just working with other countries and stuff like that, like doing different stuff like that.
Have you ever come across any Black Ops guys or anything like that?
Yeah, that's another thing I was
So,
gonna ask. Like those guys, like, yeah, go ahead, talk about them.
so it's kind of rare because like these dudes are they're in obviously like like the military and stuff like that. Like say you think of Navy SEALs, like yes they are in the Navy, but they're under like what are they under? They're under what's called like a SOCOM, so it's like Special Operations Command. So they don't really have to abide by our like rules necessarily. So and they're on their own program. So the only time I did see like say for instance like the SEALs was like we were doing some training on this island over here and then something happened that I probably won't get into, but something happened where some stuff had to get recovered, like they were like it was like a search mission for some people, but those dudes ended up like they're on their own program, so they literally like pulled up on their like jet skis and stuff like that, and they're all like 6'4", like bearded up,
Oh
six
shit.
four, like bearded up, and I'm just sitting
They have
here
better
like,
beards than mine.
just like
Their beard better than mine.
I think they're at least equivalent.
no. There's no, yeah, equivalent,
They-
equivalent.
There you go.
They all look like Aquaman, like
They're all jacked.
they all rolled up on the, yeah, they all like they just roll up like not wearing any uniform, just like cargo pants and like backwards hats and stuff like that, and they just roll up and they just like pull up on their jet skis and they like go out to the ocean and they come back. So
So
that was
are they,
and they were like super nice, like considering the circumstances, like they were like super nice. And then they had let us stay at their barracks on the island. So where they do the Navy SEAL training at, like we stayed on their island, and we stayed at the barracks. Like they had got us like food and stuff like that because we were sleeping out there for 2 days beforehand, and then they had let us stay at their living areas, and then we ended up getting like helicoptered out. So, but they were super nice dudes. So, yeah,
that
they were
must be.
pretty cool.
What's it like being in a helicopter?
that's another, yeah, good question.
It,
It's
I
not
don't
like
know.
an
At the
airplane.
time, it was well, it's kind of weird because I went on what's called an osprey. If you want to look it up. So
What's
it's
it
like
called?
it's like a helicopter, an osprey,
An osprey.
OSPREY.
An osprey.
But I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like we were driving, we were like floating or flying or whatever back onto the ship.
Oh shit!
So
one of
we were
those
like
things.
in the middle of the ocean, like just yeah. So we were flying in the middle of the ocean, and
Oh, that's
we
cool,
we were
dude.
just like looked down, and then the way that it's set up inside, it's like a 5-point harness. So it's literally like it buckles in like a slot in the middle, but it buckles in from like 5 different straps. And then you're just looking at like the water, like however many feet up, and you just have your hand on your belt, and you're like I'm ready to jump whenever I need to. And if this thing is going down, like I'm ready to take this stuff off. So
That's crazy.
it's pretty cool. It's not very stable. It's like kind of like always rocking back and forth, but it's pretty cool. That was the first
And
time I did that one, so that was pretty
Do
cool.
they tell you like, "Hey, Martinez"? Do they call you Martinez? What do they call you?
I mean, it depends who the rank is. So
Okay.
if it's a lower rank than me, then they just call me by my rank and my last name. And then if they're higher
Okay.
than me, then they usually just call me by my last name.
I'm your older cousin, so I'm just going to call you
So-
Martinez. So, hey,
Hey,
Martinez.
he's got rank. He's got rank.
So is this how it goes? Are you just sitting there and they're like, "Hey, Martinez, Wednesday you're going in the Osprey," and you're like, "Okay, sure, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll go in the Osprey." And you're like, "What the fuck is an Osprey?" And you got to go
No,
Google it. Do you get to Google
No, it's
things in the military?
a Google thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
on his
I
off
live
on
a
his
normal
off time.
life. I just go to work and I just get off.
Okay.
So no, just with that circumstance, those basically like we weren't allowed to go back in the water, and we had no way to get off the island. So it was like, all right, like what's one we had to get back on the ship, so he let us off. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Let me get to some of these chats here. Let's see. Mark says, "God bless the military." Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that, bro. Mickey says his voice has been very raspy since he was a baby.
Shower thoughts.
Oh hell yeah, here you go.
It's so funny that all of your shower thoughts. Maybe Leanna is right, and I have something. I have the juice. I don't know.
I think you do.
Because my shower thoughts is the language babies inner thoughts are before they can learn to speak is the actual human language.
I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't
Can you
get
say
it?
that over again?
Yeah, well, I typically don't, but for you, Corporal, I will.
Bro.
The language babies' inner thoughts are before they learn to speak is the actual human language. So basically, like,
Yeah, break it
language
down for
is
me,
made
man.
up.
I'm not on that plane of reality.
I think it's too deep to
Oh, it's so deep. It's unfathomable.
You guys are really stroking me right now. Let me tell you. Sorry for the language, Mom. No, I find it okay. Look, think about it. All language is made up, right? Like English is made up, Italian is made up, Saudi Arabian is made up, Lebanon language, Lebanese is
There you
made
go.
up. So
You got it. Yeah.
The true language is baby babble. Everything else is made up. The ABCs are made up. The 1, 2, 3s, the Italian alphabet's made up. Anyway, can we just go back to talk? Forget it. Forget it. Can we just go back to Daniel for a minute, please?
Here, let me take a look at this chat real quick. Always pass it to the Italians. Prima la carne. I think that. I mean, anything with carne sounds pretty good, Christine. I don't know. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Kathy. Okay. Kathy says our military is why we can do the stuff we do today. I have so much mad respect for them. My grandfather served in World War II, and I have a long list of family and friends that have served or is serving. I am loving this show, definitely. All right, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Shout out to Kathy, man. She's a real trooper. She's a real trooper for us here on the show. I appreciate that.
Be
Kathy.
careful with Leanna because she probably already knows what your plans are.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't remind me, okay? She's gonna. Yeah. She got to tell me I need to buy some life insurance today. A life insurance policy.
I bought some. Let me tell you.
Oh, you did?
I did. I bought life insurance. I rewatched it. I read her facial expression, and I said, I don't know.
Oh my gosh! I wonder what she thinks of that. What she hears that. She says, "What are your plans after you get out of the service?" I don't know.
I mean, I won't go into too much detail, but I don't know. Like, I'm still kind of in a point where I'm like, I have like my plan A, but like I have like a plan B and C.
Well, you kind of
honestly like it's kind of set up. It's kind of set up where I could do whatever I want. Honestly, like in a way, like I can go to school wherever I want because it's paid for. Like stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I honestly like I would like to stay in California, but it's just too expensive out here, and there's not much for me out here. Once everyone leaves, like once my friends leave and all that stuff, it's just me. So I might as well go back home where I have the support I have.
Yeah,
and you're an hour and a half away from me. Listen, I've been waiting to tell you this one for a while, and I feel like it's a good time to drop it on you. So I follow you on Snapchat, and you and I are Snapchat friends. And you have.
Let me just. Whatever.
And if you want me to do a shower thought and jump off this topic, by all means, let me know. Because I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Just go ahead.
Okay?
We're out of here.
You're my favorite Martinez. Don't you ever forget that. But anyway, like I was saying, I see you on Snapchat. You're having fun with your friends and everything like that. And Daniel Martinez, Corporal Daniel
Yeah, that's right.
Martinez. Let me tell you, ladies out there who are watching, you better get in line for this guy. Where is he over here? For this guy, wait, he's over here. For this guy
you
over
better
here,
pre-order. Yeah,
you better
pre-order that
pre-order.
shit.
Yeah, you better get in line, because let me tell you, this young man, he's a corporal. 2, he has everything he needs to set up. And 3, you call him Martinez, he's not responding unless you have a high enough rank. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm on Snapchat, and I'm watching his snaps, and he has this pretty young girl on his Snapchat with him. And he has the meanest face I've ever seen in my life. It's 1:00, and I woke Fiona up, and I said, "What is this guy doing?" I said,
You woke her up at 1 a.m. for that?
I woke her up. I said, "Fiona, what is this guy doing?" I said, "It's 1:00 in the morning. He's got this pretty young girl on his Snapchat. She's all into him, like, 'Hey, Corporal,' and he's all like, 'You gotta fix your face, my friend. You gotta fix your face.' You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
geez, Louise."
some people like for photo purposes. I noticed like some people like it's not really like they're mean, but it's just like that's kind of like their default face, like just to kind of like have like almost like kind of like no expression, pretty much. I wouldn't even say like it's mad. I'd say it's like a non-expression, but like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I think it was more of like I think it was more of like one of those things. It was like not a serious face, but it was more like you see me, like the people
Like
who are
it's a
watching this
flex.
is like like the people who are seeing this is like, all right, like you, like this is, you
It's
know what I mean,
flexing.
like yeah,
So
it's like,
we
you know what I'm
all
saying? It's not
to everyone out there, all 3 of us, those
not to
2
you
and
guys,
me.
you know what I mean, but other people.
No, yeah. But to those 2 and me, they're probably the only ones who are going to get this, and our other family members. But you guys all went to our grandfather's house, and there was that picture of that Aztec warrior.
Yeah,
Remember that picture?
yeah.
Like he has that woman, and she's all
Yeah.
passed out. That's your Aztec warrior picture, is what you're
Yeah.
telling me right now.
Yeah.
And
That's a good analogy.
It's more, yeah, it's some like
It's a power.
I
It's a
guess
power pose. You know.
it's just like just the angry, like devilish eyes, like that's how I look at it. You know, I'm still like, everyone knows like I'm probably one of the nicest person, like people that you'll meet. I'm like pretty fun. I like to think I'm funny in person, so pretty outgoing. So it's not like I'm like angry to all these people. If you ever see me like looking angry on my Snapchat, it's more just like a look. Once you told me that, I'm like, you're not like the first person that has told me that about it. Like, why he looks so angry, and I'm like, I don't know, I just do.
Yeah, I
Just the
noticed
look.
that for us, it's kind of like sometimes like we kind of have more of a meaner expression to our face, but it's not like really like we're mean or anything. It's just kind of like the default. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think something's up with your headphones a little bit.
Who,
I
me?
think. Hold on, let's see. Mic check 1 2. Okay, I can't hear it anymore. I think I just heard an echo for myself for a little bit, but all right, we got Steve back in here. You're good now, though.
my internet is terrible, by the way. I don't know what's going on.
No, you're good, man. Life insurance for your shower thoughts. I think you need to put like. There definitely needs some. I think you need to copyright some of that. Maybe trademark even. Maybe that's a life insurance policy for you, Steve, for your shower thoughts. Or you can write that book. I'm gonna keep on you about that, man.
I don't want to write a book. I don't.
Leanna asked you, Daniel, are you gonna travel after?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one thing. I'm gonna travel. Me and
I hope you go.
Max.
What's that?
Max and Matt.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're planning a trip to Europe in December of 2021. So
yeah,
that's good. Yeah. So that should be fun.
So by that time you'll be like done, right?
Well, I'll be done technically in September, like at latest September
Oh, okay. So
of
it's
this
not
year.
even that far.
No.
No, that's good, man.
And then that's one thing I'm glad like I've been able to travel through here. Like that's where some of my funnier stories come through of like some of the places that I've been to.
Uh-huh.
Like I think one of my favorite places is I've been to Hawaii twice
Uh-huh.
through the Marine Corps, and man, did I spend a lot of money there and some funny stories.
Yeah, what'd you spend it on?
So honestly, like it was hotels because we were getting kicked out of hotels like left and right. So there's this one. So I think that second time we were there for like 5 days or like 4 days or something like that. So 2 days. So we had bought an Airbnb. We bought an Airbnb for like the third day. So I think the
Uh-huh.
first 2 days we stayed in hotels and we all split it up. And then that third day we had an Airbnb. So we're like, okay, we go to the Airbnb. Like it's a group of us. And then it's a really nice place. I think people would be surprised how like Hawaii isn't all like glamour too, you know, like it's
Yeah.
like some real hardworking people there, and it's like there's some neighborhoods that are a little dicey. So
Yeah.
so this was like one of those like it was still a nice neighborhood, but it wasn't like like the ideal picture of Hawaii, but it was a real Hawaii
Yeah.
that people don't see. So you could go on the roof, like you can look on top of the roof and you could see like the downtown Waikiki. It was really nice. And then we had these neighbors and they just were not having it with us. Like we were being very respectful. We were doing too much. And then the first time that we had an issue with them was like I guess we thought they were being too loud. So they started banging on the wall. And I'm like, okay, if you have a noise complaint, like come up to me and talk to me at the door, you know, don't come banging on the wall. Like
Yeah.
it's just like for me, like it's just like all right, like if you have an issue, like come
This
talk to
isn't
me as a
Maryville,
person.
Indiana. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's like I was like, all right, like come talk to me. I was like, so I went over there and I talked to him and I was like, hey, like what's the issue? And they're like, hey, you're being too loud, this and that. And we're like, okay, we'll turn the music down. And so we did. We complied with them and everything goes good. Later on that day, we left and then we come back and we're just chilling there, like listening to music. I go up to the roof because I think I was mad about something. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to the roof. And I bring my blankets and I go to the roof and I'm like, I'm sleeping on the roof tonight. So and it was a
This
slight
seemed to be
incline,
a
like,
logical choice, Daniel.
yeah. So I go to sleep on the roof and come to find out my buddy's listening to this song that he really liked. I think it was like a Bob Dylan song or it was something that maybe it was a song that he really liked and he was playing it at a normal level. And someone like ruined his song and he was he was under the influence a little bit, but so they bang on the wall like crazy, like just like going crazy on the wall and the music isn't even that bad. They ruined his song and he was just really upset that they ruined his song.
Oh my
And
god.
they were already just had it with them, all right. And we were both sides of us were just not didn't like each other. So my buddy goes over there, and, and I'm not saying that anybody's in the wrong or right here, but he goes over there with a wine bottle in his hand, and he's like, hey, like, he's like, what's the issue? Like, I thought we already worked things out. And the neighbor starts yelling at him, like going, like just yelling at him. So my buddy, and I don't condone it, but it happened, takes a wine bottle and just like gives him a nice little tap over the head.
I
And then
don't
he
think.
falls.
Can I pause you there for a second? I don't think you can casually tap someone on the head with a wine bottle. Okay,
I'm just being
I don't think you could
I'm
be
just
like,
telling you this.
poop.
No, so
This is
he
for
went
you.
over there. He
It
gives him a
wasn't
little
like a full
doink.
swing, but it also wasn't like a little tap. It was just like, all right, like
He
you
gives
know
him a
what I
little
mean? Like
dong.
back
He gives
off
him a little
type of
dong
deal.
on the head. He gives him a good
So
donging.
yeah. So it wasn't even like so he falls back inside. Meanwhile, I'm passed out on the roof, like I'm just sleeping, like minding my own business, right? And it's already really late. Next thing you know, I guess the cops get called, right? And then they get called for a noise complaint. And then everyone like comes up. Everyone like apparently ran off because they were like they weren't trying to get in trouble. So they ran off. And here I am, still asleep on the roof. One of my buddies comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, bro." He's like, "We gotta go. Like the cops are here." And I'm like, I like look up and I'm like on the roof and I'm like, I look over to the side and I see the cops and I'm like, "Oh man." I'm like, "For real?" I was like, "I'm the one who bought this place." I'm the one who bought this place, and like I only get to enjoy one night on the roof. Like, are you serious? So then I go down there, and then my buddy's like talking to the cops, and then the cops didn't care because we kind of like explained the situation, and it wasn't the best case scenario for us, but or the other people, it was just like one of those things where it was just like, hey, like it happened, like it is what it is now. But we ended up getting kicked out of that place, and it just sucked because I only got to enjoy one night on that roof. Great
You
views.
didn't get like any refund for it, right?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
they were nice about it. The owners were nice about it. They were like, "Hey, like you have to like 3 o'clock, you have to leave." And I'm like, "All right, we'll do it." And then we went to spend more money on other hotels and partying and stuff like that. So I think that second time I probably spent like 2,000. Honestly,
Damn.
2,000, and like literally like 4 days. Like
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
that's a
4
good
days.
amount.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on in the chat here.
Is
Shout
that-
out to you
is
guys
that-
for watching. What's up, Steve?
Is that where you stay while you're in the Marines? Is that the corporal
Where I'm at right
headquarters?
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hold on. I think my room is pretty messy right now, so I'm not going to show you guys that. But guess if I can flip the camera here, see
Let's see.
camera.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
Whatever. I'll try.
yeah.
See if
Just
it
turn
won't
your
mess
phone
up the
around.
connection too bad.
Yeah, just turn your phone around.
It's literally just like think of like just apartment buildings like all together, I guess, and that's how.
That's nice, man.
Just they're these ones are a lot older than these ones are a lot older than some of the ones on the rest of the base, but I mean it's not bad. It's not that bad,
Yeah.
Stay here for free, get paid. I pay my phone bill and like other stuff like that, but not
Nice.
bad.
Do you ever
Ugh.
like flash your card when you go to like Sizzler or something? I think Sizzler is pretty big in San Diego. When you go to Sizzler, do you ever say like, "Hey, I'm Corporal Martinez. Maybe you can give me an extra
No.
Salisbury steak"?
No, so I think one of the biggest shockers I think for a lot of people is that around this area, like the less of a Marine you look is like the better, and that's just like the truth. Like the less of because there's so many of them around here, like it's just you want to like set yourself up to be like more normal, I guess, because there's so many of them here, and like some of them have like I don't know, I guess just like it's just like the less of a Marine you look like is almost the better, honestly. And I couldn't explain to you why. I don't know if we have like a bad reputation or what it is, but
That's weird.
I don't know. It's just like it's just, like literally like the less of a military like personnel you look like the better, like the higher chances like of you doing this or that.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes it has its perks in certain areas, like with the retired and stuff like that. But I mean, it's also weird too because no matter like what you wear, like normal clothes or what you do, like that'll set you apart. Like somehow they still always know that you're in the military. I don't know how. Like they're just like, oh, you just look like you're in the military, and I'm like, all right.
I'll agree with that. There's a big difference between you and I. I look like a disheveled Tom Hanks, and you look like G.I. Joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me and Steve.
I guess the only difference,
I wasn't gonna put you in that sweat.
If me and Steve go walking down the streets of San Diego, there's no way that we're getting passed off as military. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's a dead giveaway.
I mean, that's just off the facial hair alone, though. But
it's a facial
guess,
hair.
Like, it's just the haircuts and like the clean shave, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's even the way that we speak. If you listen to me, it sounds like
Oh, I think he lagged out. I was in suspense. I was waiting.
He boinked him in the head with a wine bottle. Yeah, that was my good friend Braden Hunt did that. Great
Braden
guy.
Hunt.
Made
So
a lot of money off
Braden
of
Hunt.
Bitcoin.
Braden Big Balls Hunt, huh? That's his nickname. Braden Big
Oh
Balls
yeah.
Hunt.
So Mickey just telling me about the friend who said he works at Sears. so honestly, like I guess like another reason why some people get a bad rep is just because there's so many. I guess there's so many of them, and at the end of the day, like dudes are gonna be dudes, so they kind of like. I guess like they have a bad like rapport with females of like kind of like them being like all over the place, like being with like if you get what I'm saying without
Yeah.
having to say it. They're not, you know what I mean? They're just dudes being dudes. I guess if you want to put it that way, they're like
Well,
they like
they,
deal with a lot of females, I guess. So they have like a bad like reputation in that respect.
uh-huh.
So my buddy, he was on Tinder. This guy and he was on Tinder, and he knew like if he says he's a Marine, like his chances are probably like a little bit lower because she's gonna think he's like a dog, I guess. So he's like, oh, you're a Marine? He's like, no, I work at Sears. So like he had kept playing that like he kept like he had to like he was like, yeah, I'm a manager at Sears, and he had like to like work around that like of the like the personality of him being like a Sears manager to like get with
I
the
don't
girl.
I don't know. I came into this somewhat late, but I don't know that your friend thought this out very well. And I'll tell him to his face if he wants to come to this chat. I don't think he thought that out very well, because essentially what I'm hearing is it's not a good career path to be a Marine, but being a Sears manager, yeah, that's where it is. And then
it's not
additionally
like they're
over
big.
from that. And then
What's up?
the other thing that I'm going to say is, let's say, for example, this young chickadee wants to surprise him at his Sears store for lunch, and then she says, "Hey, can I'm assuming his name is Brian. Hey, Brian, I'm gonna go surprise Brian at lunch today." And she brings him a nice Chick-fil-A lunch.
Oh boy, here we go.
At his Sears, and she goes, "Hey, can I talk to Brian, the manager?" And they're like, "Who? You mean that Marine who keeps saying he's a manager here? No, Brian doesn't work here. Leave the Chick-fil-A."
Yeah, it's not necessarily a career issue. It's more like a reputation issue, I guess, because like I guess some of the dudes have kind of like put a bad name out here as far as like with relations with females go, because they're like, like single dudes, so they're just gonna do that single dude stuff. If you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't understand what society expects. You're a 22-year-old Marine. There's a lot of moms in the chat right now, so I'll leave it at that. But you're a 22-year-old Marine. You're in San Diego. There's a beach nearby. I don't understand what society expects of you. I think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, I think you're. We all have like SWETZ said in one of his videos. We all have a role to play in this world.
I said that. Makes sense.
But yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah. Let me get to some of the chats here.
Let's segue out of this.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Go ahead. All right, let's see here. Kathy says, I think it's funny that you have more than one person that can read you in here, but you only worry about Leanna reading you. That's true. Kathy can.
Me?
I think she's talking about herself. I think Kathy's empath as well. She can kind of sense things. Yeah, Leanna's co-signing. I scared Steve, Kathy. I used to. Hell yeah! Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Leanna. It's a smolder. What's a smolder, Steve? I don't know what a smolder is.
I don't know what that is.
People used to ask me in high school if I was mad, but it was just my expressionless face. That's right. The expressionless face is a real thing.
You know what's great is I didn't get the mad face. I didn't inherit the mad face from our family. I inherited the like I don't know what's going on face.
Show me that face. Show me that face. I want to see it. I'm gonna sell you out here.
And people like I remember being in like calculus in high school, and people being like, "Do you know what's going on? Are you like, yeah, I'm okay."
Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
That's my resting face.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. I wish I had that face.
I don't think I've ever
traded
seen
it.
you not smile, by the way.
There are plenty of times, like when I'm in school. Well, no, I have cool friends at school, so yeah, maybe on a test day when I'm stressed out or something like that. All right, here we go. Hell yeah.
Comedians may get booed if they do old material. Bands will get booed if they don't play the hits. Isn't that ironic?
That's actually a pretty like good, interesting thing because I obviously do have aspirations to return to the stage next year and in the years to follow. But that's kind of going off topic. I guess we'll wait till for Daniel to get back. But I've always kind of thought like I'd always like to do, and I don't know how possible it would be, but I'd always like to do each show a little bit different than the next. Maybe I would play some of the hits, which if you were to give me 3 songs as to what like my hits are, what would you say there are, Steve? Because you are, if people don't know, probably my #1 fan.
Well, obviously, that's if they haven't seen, you should pull up the video that people need to watch on your channel.
That's
Gone,
right.
Yeah, Gone.
Okay, Gone.
I mean that Gone is my all-time favorite song that you've ever done. That was also my dad's favorite song too. So
Hell yeah.
So Gone is head and shoulders above anything that you. I love Gone. I love Clean Boy, and I like O Flakes. O Flakes just came out, but I like it.
You like O Flake?
I like O Flake.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like O Flake too. Apparently a lot of people do as well. The visualizer seems to be doing pretty well for itself. But yeah, it was weird because I had I don't know if you have a Spotify or not, but Spotify came out with this new feature called Canvas where it's essentially like a 3 to 8 second clip, a video clip that you can play that plays alongside as you listen to the music. So it's not just like a regular album art cover. That's just an image. But I had my mom help, like she was pouring these flakes into this bowl, and I was doing this weird trippy sort of effect thing, and I don't know. I had my friend pull it up on Spotify, and it wasn't appearing. So I was like, oh man, I put all this work, and now my mom isn't gonna get her 8 seconds of fame. You know what I mean? Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Put a double A. Put an
Put a
apple.
double A in the chat for my mom.
Put an
Everybody,
apple.
if you could.
Put the emoji of an apple in the chat.
Hell yeah.
You can
And
use emojis.
for my Facebook watchers out there, we're at about 9 reacts, hearts, and likes. Can we get that up to 10? Can I get one more like or heart from somebody out there? I'd appreciate that. Let's see here. Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. If someone wants to join in. Let me see here. I'll drop the link. I know Matthew had some stories he wanted to say. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. If you want to join, I'm posting that in the chat right now. Let's see here. We boinked him on the head with a mind ball. I don't think we read that right. Tell him about your friend. Okay, well, we definitely read this stuff. SWETZ is amazing. Oh, well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. You're amazing yourself. Love
SWETZ
Old
is
Flake.
amazing.
Leanna says, love Old Flake.
Oh man, crazy.
You still there, Danny? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, good. All right. It's coming, Leanna. It's coming. I promise you. SWETZ on stage. I will make my return. Say hi, Eliana. Hi, Eliana. Hi. How are you?
Hi,
Steve,
Eliana.
Daniel,
She's actually
say hi,
my
Eliana.
favorite person on that fight. On that, I think she's such a funny little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Let's see here. Mickey says, Oat Flake was really great. Me and Jake had it stuck in our heads. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, I still can't get a straight answer out of Steve as to. I don't think. Do you think it'll ever be possible to have a greater hit than "Gone" in your eyes, Steve? Do you think it's
In
even
my eyes,
possible?
no. I think "Gone" is the greatest song you've ever done.
Is it just because like it's like the first piece of music that I ever put out? Is that why you think that's why?
No, I don't think that's why. Because if you think about it, like nobody talks about what the Jackson 5 did. They talk about what Michael Jackson did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. There's just something about what you did, the beat, how you connected with it. I don't know. It's your all-time greatest, in my opinion.
Oh man, that's I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna be working my whole entire career to try to top that in some way.
Yeah.
Let's see, double A's. Hell yeah. We got apple emoji, green. Oh wow, red and green apple. Hell yeah. That's all for you, Ma. There you go, Mom Crown Fire. Hell yeah, that's all for you. Your mom was famous before you were born, babe. Oh yeah, I know it. Boy George. Shout out to Boy George. Did you see I left the definition of smolder in the chat? No, I didn't see that, Mickey. Post that again. My fave is Shishigadak. Shishigadak? Shishadak? Are you talking Shishigadate? I don't know what Gone is my favorite. Yeah, a lot of people apparently like Gone, apparently. Man, I have to live up to that. But the link is in the chat, everybody, if you want to join in. Matt, I know you wanted to get in here and tell some stories, so now's the time. Go ahead.
Here's what's going on right now. I have some interactive Snapchats going on right now with Santorini. I'm snapping her right now. So that's how you can get involved in the Sweats and Steve show.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You're in the show right now. Eliana, you are in the show right now.
That's wonderful.
That's really happening.
It's like a Matrix. It's like a stream within the stream. All right, we got
what color pill would you have taken?
I would have taken the red.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what either pill was actually. I couldn't make it through that movie.
No. Oh, speaking of movies, I'm gonna throw a Matt in the chat. Daniel, are you still there? What's up, Matt? What's going on? So is your camera just off right now, Dan?
Yeah, I have to send a message real quick.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Matt's in StreamYard with us. What's up, Matt? You had a story you wanted to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell a funny story since you guys are talking about some funny stories.
First of all, your lighting is intimidating. I don't know what it is about you two. Daniel's voice is intimidating to me, and I am sorely outlighted in this on this evening.
Yeah, I got a light right here. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a funny story. So I don't know if you guys know that I went to Peru last summer, and with my buddy Max that he was just saying that we were gonna go on a trip with. So basically, what happened was we went out to this club.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to make this stuff PG, so.
Just so everyone knows,
go ahead.
These two are twins.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead. Yeah, so I'm gonna just keep it less descriptive. So we went out to this club or whatever, right? And then we're just chilling, just grab a few drinks, what you normally do. And then when you're in a foreign country, like when you meet like other Americans, it's like you got a connection with them before you even like know them, like because it's just like
yeah.
So we met these American girls or whatever, like, and we were like,
don't say American girls like you're not from Chicago, Indiana.
No, but we're in Peru though, so it's like all Peruvian, right? So then we were chilling with them, and then she just like talks to me and my boy, and she's like, "Hey, my dad's up in VIP, like he'll get you up there. Like you want to go?" So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. I never been in VIP before. Let's go." So we start walking upstairs. We go up. I guess her dad's like connected with something. I don't know. I didn't want to find out. But basically, he comes up to us. He's like a think of like Narcos, but think of like an old dude. Like, he's like short, but like
Yeah,
like he
yeah,
got some like you respect him just based on how he looks and stuff like that.
yeah.
So we're just chilling, and he's like, "Oh, like, what do you guys want to drink? We'll get you anything, whatever." So we're like, "Yeah, like, we're just being respectful, like, yeah, I appreciate it." And then we're just chilling up there. They do the little confetti or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
They say a few, maybe a couple minutes later, a couple drinks down, we're kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah.
people like that. So then we were like, "All right, man, it's getting kind of late. Let's get out of here." So we get out of here. And honestly, there's not a lot or too much I remember, but basically, I just hear my friend say like, "Hey, like, don't cross the street, don't cross the street." And he says that I just crossed the street, and I don't remember. And then the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and I'm just like looking up. I'm looking up from the ground, and then some dude's bike is on the ground, and apparently this dude hit me with the bike. This dude hit me with the bike, and I was on the ground. I'm like, "Oh man!" And he's like, "Bro, you just got ran over by a bike." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Bro, what happened?" And then I just like felt kind of bad because like I don't know what's going on, but at the same time, it's like, dang, I kind of knocked over this dude's bike with my body. So I'm like, I give him all the money I got. I'm like, "Sorry, dude, I'm sorry." And he's like, "Nah, bro." He's like, chill, like in Spanish or whatever. And then me and my friends like, "Oh, we gotta get out of here or whatever." So then we get out there, and then we're just like kind of lost. And then I don't know, we were arguing about something that we couldn't find our way home. And then we just started like wrestling on the ground, like, because we were arguing and we were like, and then people were walking around staring at us and stuff like that. And it was just a crazy night. I don't know. You guys were sharing funny stories, so I was like, we shared funny stuff. But we made it home, but yeah, I think that was pretty crazy. Got hit by a bike.
What do you think about that, Steve?
You know, I first of all, let me just say that Matt is a smooth guy. All right. He is a smooth guy. He comes on here all licking his lips. First of all, it's hard. Like I told you last time you were on the show, it's hard taking a man seriously who licks his lips as much as you do. But you are a smooth guy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got an answer for everything. I get it. I could tell you walk up into any Peruvian club and you're all like, "Hey, girl, you got a dad who's in VIP?" What girl is in a club with her dad? First of all, let me ask that.
That
question.
is strange. That is strange.
Is it just me? Can someone in the chat let me know? Is it just me? You need a club dad. I'm not
like, because you would never be able to break away from your father's eyes. Like, he'd be watching you like a hawk at that point. So like, if you were trying to do,
yeah, but if it's one of the few that gets whatever they want, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure. I didn't really want to ask too many questions because he was. I don't know. I didn't know what he was involved in.
Sure, yeah.
Should ask him for his business card.
Jeez, can you stop smiling on the pod? Can you stop smiling on the podcast, please?
I'm just be serious. But yeah, I just thought that was funny.
I can't tell if it's the light to your right or your smile that is shining up that little screen in the show tonight.
So did you hear the rest of the story where he walks down to the street, gets hit by a moped apparently or a bike?
You got hit by a moped?
Yeah, I got hit by a motorcycle.
Or a motorcycle, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that you get hit with any motorcycles. If you can avoid getting hit with a motorcycle, I suggest you do that.
That's some good advice right there. I don't know. You can only get it from Steve. I don't know. I won't be able to give that advice. So only Steve can get it. He's gonna pull rank. He's gonna pull rank on all of us. He's the oldest here.
Yeah.
Right,
if you see a motorcycle coming, go to the left or go to the right. Don't stand in front of it. Get out of the way.
But yeah, that's my story. So I'm gonna have to get out of here right now, but I just wanted to share that because everyone was sharing that story.
Thanks, bro. That was a good story.
All right, then. Night, everybody.
All right. See you, man. Let's see what's going on here in the chat.
I hope I didn't make him mad.
No, you're good. Mickey says smolder, show or feel barely suppressed anger, hatred, or another powerful emotion. Smolder. So it's like brewing like a teapot. Like with some tea or something. I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but that's what I'm rocking with right now. Kathy says, "Don't get me wrong. I think your music is all great, but Gone really hit me. I gotta crack that code. Then I gotta get back to some Gone magic or something. I mean, that might be lightning in a bottle. I don't know at this point.
What's up?
Let's see.
You about to go to sleep? Yeah.
So a dude ran you over with his bike and you feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad for the bike. It's one of those it's like one of those live inanimate objects, like the brave little toaster. Like, how sometimes you get mad or you get sad for the piece of gum that you throw out that like it still had a few more minutes left in its life.
I've never felt any emotion for gum.
No, that's a real thing. Apparently, me and
I can't even name any types of gum out there.
You never have a piece of gum that you could have chewed for a few more minutes. You could have got a little bit more, good minty flavor out of it, but you spit it out for some reason. It's like, aw. Now
I actually think gum is a waste of time.
Oh, you think gum's a waste of time? Why is that?
I just think, I don't know. It's a mask. Gum is nothing more than a mouth mask. You're masking your nasty ass mouth. Just he does, doesn't he, Kathy? He did. Well, he does. He's not here, but just have proper hygiene, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely have. Me as the clean boy, I definitely support cleanliness for sure. Me and Luke feel bad for inanimate. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Sometimes I do feel bad about the gum that I throw out. It had a home, but it doesn't have a home anymore.
Look at his
what's up?
biceps. Jeez Louise.
He
has veins in his
flex your biceps, Daniel. Steve wants to see.
No. Well, he doesn't have to flex. They're just there.
I'll flex my biceps right now. I don't give a shit. I have good biceps. Hold on. What the fuck? This is the SWETZ and Steve show. Hold on.
No one's gonna out bicep sweat.
Here are my biceps. Here we go. This is what you're paid to see. Here we go. Check that out. There you go. You know what I mean?
This is my rifle.
Those are legal in state I'm in right now, so you gotta be careful.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, these guns. Yeah, he said these guns are illegal in his state right now, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I can imagine. San Diego.
El Santarina says, "Love you, Mickey." Oh, I love Mickey too. Oh yeah. Silly gum COVID masks. When you let a balloon go in the wind and it disappears until it gets stuck and forgotten. Oh yeah. Like wind, they get taken on the wind. That's very sad. One thing that I just popped into my head. So there was this past weekend, Steve, and I believe I sent you a Snapchat about this. But there is this fight. There is some very live gentlemen put on a boxing show this weekend. It was Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. And what I wanted to know is, have you seen any highlights from the boxing match? And what do you have any comments regarding that at all? Oh, I think he froze out. I'll let him get back in here. Dan, did you see the highlights from the match?
Yeah, I did. I seen the co-main event and the main event, and
dude, it honestly, dude,
the co-main event was really hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie,
dude. Jones was gassed for it seemed like
not the main event. I thought the main event was pretty good for them being like 50 years old. It shows that they still have it.
Yeah, but
good.
I think Nate Robinson and Jake Paul kind of took over. It took all the memes. Have you seen some of the Nate Robinson memes out there?
Yeah, makes you feel a little bad for the guy.
I do feel bad for the guy. It's like the most. Here, let me see. I want to look some up. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, the the funniest one that I seen was when they had Buzz Lightyear and Woody from Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
And it said when Andy walks into the room, and it had them lying down, and then Nate Robinson was lying down.
Yeah. He
That
got
was
knocked
rough.
out clean.
Yeah, dude. It's like I don't know, like what his like. I mean, there was no defense from what I saw, man. Like he was just like the way he ran at it too. It's like he ran at it like I don't know if you've seen any of the highlights, but like the way he ran
It's like
at it.
he would like run up to him just to like clinch up. So he wouldn't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
yeah.
he wouldn't really like come up to him to be like to actually throw punches. It was just to like clinch up, which is
Yeah, no, it was weird. Like I don't know, like if they clinched up a lot and like you don't know, you notice how he always like kind of like Jake Paul kind of like always like kind of smacked himself like into each other, like probably because of the height, but like he would just like run into him. Shout out to Zanisha, by the way. Thank you. What's up, Zanisha? How you doing? Glad to see you here. But yeah, before you lagged out, Steve, I was asking you about what your takes was, or if you had any takes at all on this Jones Tyson fight that happened this past weekend at all. If you see any of the highlights or anything regarding that.
I did watch a little bit of it. I don't understand how Tyson didn't win that fight, but
yeah,
I mean, hey, I'm not a ref, so it is what it is.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is you shouldn't have a fight sanctioned in California because they have a lot of dumb rules. I mean, a lot of that. Remember that picture that I sent you that had all the facts about the fight, like oh, there's a knockout, like you can't knock out, or like if there's a cut, the fight's gonna stop. I mean, that's like all the stuff that they had to do to get sanctioned, but like, but even so, like. I didn't think anybody was gonna knock anybody out really, but I mean, but Tyson still looked pretty damn good though, Steve, didn't he not?
It never leaves you, much like being a Marine, Daniel.
Yeah.
It never leaves you. You know what I mean? Like it's something that always stays. You keep that type of training and mentality, especially Mike Tyson. I mean, Mike Tyson was probably. I wouldn't say that he was the best boxer out there, but he was the most technically sound and most disciplined physically. That, you know, a lot of his training will never leave him. He'll always remember that.
And you know what was weird too was like, because there was no crowd obviously in the audience, so it was like you could hear him just like when he was close, when he was close, like kind of like up next to Roy, he was like you could hear him like grunting and stuff, like I don't know, it was weird. It was like I'd never heard that before, and so it was kind of weird to see that, to see how he does, to be able to hear it too. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was interesting. Like he sounded like it was primal, dude. It sounded like an animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I thought Roy Jones looked pretty like fluid too. Like I didn't think he was as stiff as I thought he would be for his age.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he wasn't an aggressor, but he was definitely like he still had his footwork and his head movement, like for sure. Like, and it was still, like I said, fluid, not very like stiff.
Yeah, those guys, they keep doing that. You know what I mean? Like you have a guy like me who it was just something I did for a couple years. Like guys like that, that's what they do. That's what they get paid to do. You know what I mean? Like that's their bread and butter. That's how they earn money. So they stay doing that. If you put me in the ring right now, I'd be like a fish out of fucking water. You know what I mean? I'd be like, what?
What I'd like to do in the future is like, so apparently this is probably going to be a bigger trend. What you'll see in the future is that a lot of more celebrity matches and boxing and stuff like that to kind of like bring a little bit more juice to the sport. You know what I mean? A little bit more attention to it. I think I would definitely like to get into the ring myself as SWETZ. You know, I would like to kind of find someone I don't know, that interests me. I not only have aspirations for a wrestling stint, but I'd also like to do that as well. And I would hope to have you in my corner, Steve. You know what I mean?
It is a tough grind. Let me tell you, it is
I
a tough
think
grind.
I think I would need a good enough time, and like I think I would totally isolate myself. I would totally go to a different realm, Steve. Like I would cut myself off from even music. Maybe before I go into isolation mode, I'd create my theme song and my walkout song and stuff like that. But after that, I think I would kind of go like whoosh. I think I would like kind of go. I think I'd try to enter the matrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'd be a better coach, so maybe that would be. I think it's a lot of pressure being in that ring, dude. You know what I mean? It is a lot of pressure. It's
Uh-huh.
so easy to be in the gym and sparring and all that. Like that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
But to actually step up those stairs and get in that ring, that's the challenging part. That's where I always struggled. You know what I mean? Like because I wanted it too bad. Um, I craved it too hard. You know what I mean? Like I put too much pressure on myself. I could have been more than I actually was. I legitimately believe that, but at the end of the day, I don't regret it. So,
Hmm.
um,
Re-
you
real
know,
real quick, I want to say shout out to Kathy. She said once again, I want to thank you for your service for us. I have got to try to get a little sleep between keeping wood in my stove. Hey, being cold. Good night, all. Have a good night, Kathy. I hope you get better. I think a lot of people here in the
feel
chat
better,
are
Kathy.
hell yeah. Love you too, Kathy. And yeah, keep Kathy in your prayers tonight and for the rest of the week, and a speedy recovery for you, Kathy. I hope you get better. Have a good night, and thanks for stopping by, of course, and for all the support you give to us. But kind of going into not to get too sidetracked, because I'd like to ask Dan a few more things, but like, so when you're talking about when you wanted it too much, like when you're going into the fight, like your heart's racing, like you got kind of like that empty stomach and you're feeling, and like like what in your inside your mind, are you like going over like the strategy that you kind of did during like beforehand, or is it just like everything and anything is like kind of going through your mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of drama leading up that I don't think a lot of people knew about. I think there was a lot of drama leading up into my Golden Gloves fight, which was kind of the pinnacle of my career, my boxing career. Um, so I had worked my process. My process was I was sparring 4 to 6 times a week in the ring with professionals, hitting the bag. I mean, I had no life. I worked 2 jobs at a time. And I would wake up, I would run, I'd go to work, I'd go to one gym to spar a certain set of guys, and I'd go to another gym to spar another set of guys. And I kind of missed out on some of the more talented sparring partners that were out there, but that was because I was a professional at that time. Um, so I was going to 2 different gyms, and I had one fight, and the night before the fight, they told me you have to represent one gym. So I had to decide, okay, well, what gym am I going to fight out of? So I chose the more illustrious gym, and it was the right decision. But again, the reason why I was sparring out of 2 different gyms was because I was a professional. I had a career. I still have a career, and I had to do both. I couldn't do one or the other. So I was missing out on some really good sparring opportunities. Um,
Uh
and the trainer that I was working with, Joe Ruiz, funny story about him. His son was trained by by Sylvester Stallone.
oh shit,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but anyway, um, Joe Ruiz was my trainer. He decided to stay at the gym that I didn't want to represent. So I told him, "Hey Joe, I've been working with you for all these months. Like, would you train me for the would you still represent this gym?" He told me no. Okay, that's the end of me and Joe, right?
Mm.
So then Joe and I are split up. I go with this trainer named Macho. He fought on Oscar De La Hoya's boxing show.
Mm.
Um, and he had a lot of people who were fighting underneath him at the time.
Yeah.
So, I would get trained last. Now I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm getting trained at 8 p.m. I'm tired, like whatever. But anyway, so I go to this fight. It's at a trucker's lounge. It's for a trucker. No, seriously, it's for a trucking company. It's for the Chicago Industrial Truckers or something like that. And it was in, I have the medal somewhere. I'll have to find it and show you. But so I literally have that conversation on Thursday night. Who are you representing? Now I'm just an amateur, right? They say, who are you representing? I say, I'm representing this gym. So I went with the more illustrious gym. Macho ended up training me for the fight, but I did everything that I knew I needed to do. He wasn't really my main trainer there.
Mm-hmm.
I fought this Dominican guy. His name was Chris. I fought in heavyweights in the heavyweight division. Now I'm 5'10", 5'11"-ish. And I knocked the guy out within 3 rounds. He was 6'4". I'm 5'10", 5'11". He was pushing 201 pounds. I was weighing like 178. I was in great shape. I was in really great shape. I knocked him out within 3 rounds. They stopped the fight. Fight's over. Then within the month, I fight in the Golden Gloves. I'm working with Macho. He's doing other weird stuff with me. He's doing his routine, but it had nothing to do with what I knew. So I put a lot of pressure on myself because I think I wanted it too hard. And I think that I went in with a very solid game plan. If I can find the fight, I think my mom has it. I'll show you guys.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Within the first 20 seconds of the fight, I give the guy. This was a fighter whose brother was a professional fighter. He was well trained. His dad was a professional fighter. He was going to go be a professional fighter. I mean, his whole family had professional fighter written inside of it, right? This was a big gentleman. I don't know if Christy's still in the chat. She was at the fight. She could vouch for that. But this was a very tall individual. And again, he weighed in about 201 pounds. I weighed in about 178 pounds. So right there, like that's a big gap, right? Like I'm 5'10", 5'11". This guy's 6'4". Like what the hell am I doing in there? First 20 seconds of the fight, I give him a jab, cross, hook. I'm getting ready to follow up with the right hand. If I followed up with that right hand, I'm telling you right now, that guy would be dead because I gave him boom, boom, boom. And when I gave him that last one, his whole body turned and his whole right-hand side was open to me. So if I followed up with that right hand, he falls back and he's dead. My whole
like dead.
This is a life-changing experience, and I'll tell you why in a couple of minutes when I'm done with the story. But anyway, so if I follow up with that right hand, he drops back. He's done, right? And I go on to the next round. Well, I start getting ahead of myself in that fight. And if I can find the fight and I can upload it to my computer, I will show you guys. I can tell you what I was thinking. I go boom, boom, boom. And at this point, I am knocking guys out in the gym. I just stopped this big guy a couple of months ago, like a month ago in one of my fights. I just knocked him out. I'm like, I'm in such a good spot. I'm like, this guy can't. I'm thinking to myself in the fight, this guy can't stand with me. Let me knock him out of here first round. I'm in the next round, yada yada. Boom. I'm going. I'm fighting. I'm punching. I'm doing all that stuff. And sure enough, I let the guy back in the fight. Again, he knows what he's doing. Right. I'm trying to fight him to get him out. He's dodging me. He's pulling back. He's moving around. He's doing all that stuff. And I let the fight get away. So the next round, he gives me a standing A count. The final round, I knock him. I literally knock him on his ass. And he's saying he slipped. Fuck you. He didn't slip. I knocked you on your ass. So that happens and everything like that. I knock him down twice. He knocks me down once. The reason why, and he ended up winning the fight. The reason why he won the fight was because I keep spitting out my mouthpiece. So they gave him the points off that. And I don't know if I've already told this story, feel free to stop me. But anyway, they give him the fight the next weekend. Okay. This is where my whole life changes. Okay. And it changes for the better. And this is where I'm like, yeah, I'm good. The next weekend, he goes back to the Golden Gloves and says, "Hey, I'm here for my fight." The doctor examines him, does all the check, and she says, "You got a concussion. You can't fight." I gave him that concussion.
Oh wow!
I did that.
Oh
From
wow!
being in the ring with me, from being in the ring with these hands.
Oh boy!
I did that. I did that. I don't know his name. I did that to whatever his name was. To the fighter of the family lineage. I did that to him. Well, that same night that he went back to the Golden Gloves, that if they had awarded me the fight, that I would have been fighting that night. I asked Fiona to go to Mangiano's with me on a date. And the rest is history. We got a little boy sleeping upstairs somewhere now.
Up in the attic?
Yeah, up in the attic. He sleeps in the attic. We're still making $5.15 around here. But yeah, so that's where that's where my life had taken a turn, and that's when I realized, you know what, maybe it's time for me to start getting out of boxing here. I think I know who that
shout out to Alex in the chat. She says that she came to your fights. And
she drove me to one once. She drove me to a fight once.
That's badass.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. It was my first one.
And Stat Shock thinks that's sweet. He says, "How sweet." Thank you, Stat Shock. I'm sure he appreciates that. Daniel, you got any good how would you rate your resilience, bro? How would you say you handle yourself in a fight?
Can I say something about him? If you scroll back, you remember how much Scotch was in here. It was about here, so now I'm here. Can I say something about him? I remember when he came back for a little bit, and I don't know if you remember this, Daniel, but you and I was showing you how to punch. Do you remember?
Yeah.
His hand was bleeding because he wore a ring, and his hand. No, I'm sorry. I had my wedding ring on, and he was punching my hand. And most people would stop because his knuckle was bleeding. His knuckle was cut open. And I remember thinking, because his blood was getting on my hand, I remember thinking, he should probably stop some, because I'm like, yeah, punch like this, boom, 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 boom. He had such a determination in his eyes that I was like, this guy's going to be okay. This guy's going to be fine. I like that. Not just because he's my cousin, but yeah, I remember that was, I remember that. He had no quitting him.
But yeah, Dan, how do you think you'll handle yourself in a fight? I'm pretty sure you have tons of experience with that.
I do, and I don't want to worry my mother, so don't get into too many details. But honestly, like I think probably lately I've been learning how to like talk things out, because it's probably for the better. But I mean,
like, you agree with that, Steve? You think talking things out is better?
At 34 years old, yes, talking things out is better. I'll tell you. Well, I'm in my early 20s now. Here's the thing: Daniel is he's a machine, right? Like, if he were to fight me or you, it wouldn't be fair. You know what I mean? He'd destroy. But if he goes against another Marine, like, obviously, like, hey man, fuck you, like, you know, I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
No, I definitely had my fair share of, and I've had a lot of fights, and and I like to think that I can fight, like maybe, like obviously not like a boxing level, you know, but just like a normal like fighting level. But yeah, like I can definitely fight for sure. But I don't know. I think it depends on the situation, but these days it's not my first go-to to just like immediately start throwing hands. But that's something I had to learn the hard way, I guess. Not necessarily the hard way, like I got beat up or something. Not that I like lost fights or nothing like that. Just that I don't know. Some people don't respond to you fighting in front of them all the time, like appealing, and it kind of like hurts. Like it hurts personal relationships and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I do like in. I think the last time I just fought for fun in general was probably like 2-3 weeks ago. Just threw the gloves on, just for fun. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
One question that I have for you, Steve, is like getting knocked out. That's a totally involuntary process where you simply can't control it. Like they just hit you at one spot and then like your equilibrium spazzes out and then you fall down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so my last fight I got knocked out, and that's where I decided it's no longer for me because I think in boxing you have to have someone looking out for you. Again, I fought in heavyweights. Now I weighed 178, and I fought in heavyweights. There's something wrong there. Somebody should have told me you're too small to fight in heavyweights. You need to fight in light heavyweights. You need to lose more weight to fight in light heavyweights. Given your power, given your speed, you will be more successful there. Get down to 167. I could have done it. I really could have. Now, whether somebody told me that and was being pig-headed or big-headed or whatever, that's another discussion. But nonetheless, I do think that people need to look out for you. My last fight was with.
No, they lagged out. All right, we'll let him come back in. You still there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm still here. I could probably be like another like 10, 15 minutes just because I gotta wake up at 3 tomorrow. So
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. We'll go for 10 more minutes. You got any other stories that you wanted to really tell?
let me think.
One of the good ones. Some of the good ones that we haven't heard before.
Trying
But
to
you can
think.
tell anyway.
Let's see.
It's too many to count, huh?
Trying to think of like a topic, I guess.
Yeah, you're good, man. Well, while you're thinking, I'll just say thank you all so much for who have spent some time with us tonight and who you usually spend a lot of time with us with every week. I appreciate it. What am I gonna say here? Jogging in the cold. Moss says the tell a story about you jogging in the sub-zero temperatures.
All right, and that still affects me to this day. Actually, I actually thought about that story today because how cold it was outside over here. My hands hurt, so I got on like a little. I don't know. I got in this weird mode where I was like, I wanted to join like a boxing gym. So I was like, all right, before I go, I want to get ready. Like, I want to get my cardio up. Like, I want to be like, I don't want to come in there looking like a bum. So I'm like, and it's in the middle of winter, and obviously it's back home, so it's freezing. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna get my cardio up, and what's the best way to do it? Like, it doesn't matter the temperatures. I was like, as long as I run and I get warm, I'm not gonna, my fingers are gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like running, and I probably run like I'd say probably like 5 miles, and then I'm like running. It's so cold. I like take off. I don't even know if I have gloves. And I like take off my gloves or not, and I see my fingertips and they're turning white. So I'm like, oh, that's a problem. My phone like it's so cold out. Like my phone like dies because it killed the cold kills the battery. So I'm like literally like running, and I'm like sucking my fingers so like to get like life back into them because they're like dying as we speak. And then I make it to like the first spot, and then I go to the bathroom, and I know like everyone says, oh, like don't put hot water on it or whatever. Like that's the worst thing you want to do. That's like the worst thing you can do. And what do? I put hot water on it. Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst feelings I've actually felt was putting hot water on my like frostbitten hands, like minor frostbitten hands. No, they literally felt like they were on fire and they were like splitting open. Like I don't know how to explain it. And then I was like, all right, like I have to go back. So I run back home, and then I'm sitting there, and then they're just not getting better. Like I soak them up, like I'm getting better, and they just like puff up like twice the size, and they're like all pink and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, like I'm like, all right, this might be a bigger issue, and they're just like hurting, and they're just like super sensitive. And then mom, it's like the next day, like she's like, if they don't get any better, like then I'll take you to the doctor tomorrow. And I'm sitting here like with these puffy hands, and I'm like, no school tomorrow, cool. Guys, like my hands are like have no feeling in them. And I'm like, no school
Uh-huh.
tomorrow. I'm like, nice. And then I
Yeah, I
go to the
remember.
doctor, and
I
they're
remember.
like, yeah, you have like minor frostbite, like they're like your fingers are literally never gonna be the same anymore. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, I didn't go to school today, so that was cool. And I'm like, whatever. And it still affects me to this day. Like my hands are like still very sensitive because like it messes with
The nerve endings or something.
it messes with the nerve ending. So like my
Damn.
hands are still very sensitive to this day. So
Yeah, that's a good. I remember that. I remember when that happened. That's a good story. Well, we're gonna be wrapping up here soon. But I wanted to, and then Dan, if you have another story you wanted to share before, just think about it. But one thing I was gonna ask you, Steve, okay, because I really like while Jake Paul was fighting Nate Robinson, I was really thinking, what if like, I get my rep up, in the next 5 or 10 years, you know what I mean? I really get my status up, I really go someplace with SWETZ, and I do, maybe there's like and whoever would play the role of the anti-SWETZ and would want to face me in a boxing match. How long, if I were to totally dedicate like 7 days out of the week, if I were to dedicate that much time to getting to prepping and training, how long do you think is like enough time to get in half decent shape, like mentally and physically, for a
A
boxing
year.
match? A
A
year?
year. Yeah.
A year?
I think a year. I really do, because you need, and not because it has anything to do with you. It's because you need to see everything you can. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could see me fight you. You could see Daniel fight you. You could see Matthew fight you. You could see that. But you need to see all these different styles to build up your muscle, to build up your memory of like, what do I do in this situation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You need to build up the adaptability um, in the ring. If you just go, like, I watched the Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul's garbage. And I don't think anybody I do. I think
Not as
you
garbage as
step to
Nate Robinson was.
if you step to his. I mean, Nate Robinson is a former basketball player. He has no boxing credentials, but if I'm in there, I step to his left and I make him come to me. You know what I mean? I step to his
Yeah.
left, my right. I make him walk into my power hand. I double jab him. I wait for him to come over the top, because if you notice, he only comes with overhand rights, right? So he's only coming like this.
Yeah. I noticed that.
I'm
Yeah.
ducking out of that and I'm giving him a left hook,
Uh-huh.
right? And I'm
See,
following up with a right hand.
that's
Like
the
I
stuff that
look
I
at stuff
like.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
this stuff and I'm like, I don't see it. If you go to any reputable boxing, even half reputable, you know what I mean? Like first fight you see him with Shane Mosley. Okay. He's with Shane Mosley. I'm not gonna say anything about it. He fought like a fat English kid. I don't even know who the guy is. He fought some fat guy. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, you're
you
talking
could
about
fight
Jake
me.
Paul.
Yeah. It's just like, and then
Like it was some other
he fought another
another
YouTuber.
yeah, put him in there with an amateur boxer. Put him in there with an amateur boxer who had 10 fights. A 10-fight amateur boxer. See what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the gauge for him. Like it's kind of a shame that he's walking around with a professional ranking. He has no amateur fights underneath him. I was an amateur.
Uh-huh.
I had what did I have? 12 fights, something like that. I was an amateur fighter. It's kind of just and there's still stuff I could have learned.
So like even if you're going against someone like Jake Paul, who like isn't really like an amateur per se, like it would still take the year though, just to kind of really get like that experience in.
Yeah, I would tell you, like Manny Pacquiao's trainer told me, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I would focus on doing plyometrics and sparring, and that's it.
Yeah, because the plyometrics, that's all your cardio right there. That jump training.
Well, not only that, but it's going to give your fast twitch muscles the ability to knock people out. When I was knocking people out every single day in both gyms that I was fighting in, when I was knocking people down, it was because I was taking my plyometric training seriously. When Manny Pacquiao was knocking people out left and right, it was because he was taking his plyometrics training seriously. If you look at plyometrics, it's a lot of like jumping. It's a lot of like push up, you push off the floor. It's a lot of that. Like it's going to give you that knockout power. It's going to make you more tired. It's going to make you wear down like it did me. So you need to fuel yourself properly, unlike I did. But from the same point, it's just like if you know those little tips and tricks before you go into there, I would say, yeah, you need a year before you can comfortably go into the ring. And even that, like, what's your motivation to go into the ring? You know, like, I don't like people. I guess the thing about boxing is I know more people who have fought for $2,000 and they live off that $2,000 for the year than there are Floyd Mayweathers out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not an illustrious sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think off the rip, I mean, which any fight you would expect to have won from, especially from the audience perspective, would half the motivation be entertained, but the other half, I think personally, would be like to like just to have another accomplishment to say, hey, I did this. And how much even sweeter it would be to not only say, hey, I did this, but hey, I did this and I won. Even though if it wasn't like a world title championship fight, you know what I mean? Because it is kind of like walking into the ring and having that courage. I mean, it is courage nonetheless. You know what I mean?
I think I hear what you're saying. And I agree with them with what you're saying. Maybe you show this video. Maybe you show this video.
Yeah, share your screen.
No, you share because I'm a little. I've had a full glass of scotch this evening.
Oh, okay. What's the video called?
I put it in our private chat.
Oh, okay.
For those of you who don't know, we have a backstage here. But here's the thing. I think the motivation to fight, it's more of you versus you. I did it for vanity. I did it because I wanted to be a Golden Gloves champion. I wanted to have that. I wanted that. I did it for the wrong reasons. This far past what I do. If I went in it with different intentions, I would have had a different outcome.
I try to follow it, but like it 404s.
Look up for I Still Have a Soul.
I Still Have a Soul.
Yeah. I still have a soul.
Hey Dan, how much time you got left, brother?
Just after the video.
Okay. All right.
Nah.
So we'll go ahead and watch this video and then we'll call it. Once again, I'd like to thank all you guys who have stuck with us, who have watched, and I appreciate all the support. We're gonna watch this one video and then we'll go ahead and call the stream. Let's see here. I Still Have a Soul. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, I Still Have a Soul. Let me take this out. Okay, let me share my screen. Let's see here. Share audio. This right here, the first video.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause it every now and then just so I can avoid any like bots or shit. Let's see here. So what we have here, we have a city scene here. Ooh, I think he stole that. I think he stole that, Steve.
He did. But he had to.
He had to. it's a necessity.
I mean, at least where I was at, I saw more of this
Mm-hmm.
than I did people driving around in Bentleys.
Like guys who are trying to stay out of trouble, and this is like all they could do essentially.
I don't know that it's stay out of trouble. I just think it's guys who are trying to survive.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like guys who are
Yeah.
doing what they know.
Yeah. That's gonna be me and you one day, Steve. You're teaching me the ropes.
I'm all for it.
Oh, what's this? Uh-oh, it's getting that cheddar. Which, by the way, just to pause right here, those the punching mitts and stuff, and doing the combos and stuff like that. That really kind of put all my cardio into question. It's like there's definitely more heights that I can reach with that for sure.
That all goes out the window when you're fighting someone too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Night, Mop. We're gonna be ending here soon anyway, so thanks for watching, Ma.
See, I've been in situations like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In street fights like that?
Yeah, like in someone's basement. I've been in situations like that.
Oh wow. Damn.
I didn't need that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't bare knuckle. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't bare knuckle, but it was in someone's basement. You know, I went with a couple of friends. He went with a couple of friends. You know, like that. You don't need that shit, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I was to do that though, and considering that I had a bit of a rep behind me, I would definitely be doing it for a good payday too, as well. In addition, I'm pretty sure Jake Paul and all them got some nice
Yeah,
stuff.
but if you do it for a payday, it doesn't.
Yeah. I know. It's that's
how much I made fighting?
What's that?
You know how much I made fighting?
How much you make?
$105 across like 6 years.
Wow.
I made $105. That's how much I made.
Damn. I think I could get more selling crack for that.
Literally, I made $105. I made more money as a boxing trainer than I did as a fighter. I made more money out of the ring than I did in.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or you went to school with the contacts. Oh, he's talking about these other stories. Okay. I think Daniel stepped away for right now, but let's go ahead and finish up this video.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was beautiful. That was very poetic. I like that a lot.
Oh, those jokes. And I don't know, dude. I look at what Daniel's doing, and I'm like, man, I wish I had more structure. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was some struggle and strife in my life that I'm proud of him. You know, I'm proud of him for. Is that you? I can't tell if it's you. You look the same in the dark, Daniel.
Yeah, that's me.
You know what I mean? Like he's set up for so much success that I'm proud of him. I love seeing everything he's doing. I want him to smile when he has a girl draped all over his arm, You know what I mean? But I think he'll get that in the future. So I'm proud of him. I really am.
Hell yeah, that's wonderful. Well, okay. I don't know if you wanted to real quick kind of touch on these stories that Mickey had said, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, tell Steve about when I had to pick you up from school because you didn't want to tell mom that you got in trouble.
So I think I was a freshman. And I was in the cafeteria and something happened where like I couldn't like get through to the other side, so I thought it would be a good idea to just walk on the cafeteria tables to get to where I was going. So I literally, so I started walking on the cafeteria tables to like get to the other side, and like I thought it would be funny too. Like I thought I was being like cool or something like that too. Like I didn't care. And then like literally like the vice principal like literally pulled me over there and she like pointed at me and I was like, oh, I was like, well, I'm like, that's how cool I am. Like let me go over there now, and I'm like all like freaking out in my head. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. And then this is how it ends for me, huh? And I think I got suspended for like a week, and then I was like, man, I was like,
Jeez.
I think I tried to call my mom, but I don't think she answered. So I was like, all right, like I'm just not gonna tell her until I get home. I was like, because I'm gonna be home, at least I'm gonna enjoy some time while she's not there. So I called my sister up, and she was in school at the time and not too far away. And I was like, hey, can you come pick me up? Because I got suspended for like a week, and like I don't have a ride back. So she's like, yeah, I'll pick you up. So like I think like she felt bad, so she got me McDonald's, and then I just like sat in the living room like just waiting for her to come back from work, and then like I think she just didn't talk to me for like a week, like which was surprising for her not to yell at me. So she just didn't talk to me for a week. So I just like watched Dog the Bounty Hunter at like 8 o'clock every morning, just like doing my homework all week.
And then she also asked about when you got in trouble for wearing the contacts.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think I was in the 8th grade, and I don't know if you guys know who the rapper Hobson is. But
Who?
inspired by the rapper Hobson.
Oh, Hobson. Yeah. Hobson. Yeah. Hobson. I'll pull up
Well,
a photo. You keep telling the story.
he was like known for having these white contact lenses that were like white. So I went to this place that sold contact lenses, and then I got some, and I was like, I think I don't know what the reason was for getting them, but I was just like I just thought they were, because I think that someone had got some, and I was like, all right, well I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna get some white ones. So I literally like pull up to school and I throw these white contact lenses and literally just like that. And I just continue to go to my classes. And then I go to my computer teacher, which I thought he would be cool, you know, like he had like a picture of him at Woodstock back in the day, and I'm like, all right, I thought it'd be cool, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, surprisingly, he wasn't that cool, even though he did go to Woodstock back in the day. He turned into it. I guess he forgot his roots or something. But yeah, he was like, yeah, you got to take him out, or because it's a distraction to the learning environment. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna take him out because it's not distracting me. Like I'm literally doing my own thing. Like I was like, they're literally just contact lenses. And then I got in trouble, and then it made me take them out, and I was just like, I don't know, I was pretty mad because then I only wore them like 2 times after that, and I'm like, I just wasted money on them.
I like this
As a
picture.
Marine, do you look at it? As a Marine, do you look back at your teacher now and you're just like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, teacher.
Yeah, I mean, I can, but it's not like, I mean, like, he was just doing his job at the end of the day, but like, yeah, he's just doing his job at the end of the day. I'm still a rebel at heart. I'm not gonna lie, but
There you go.
it is
It's
what it
firm
is.
but fair. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
sure.
great. All right then.
Hold on.
Okay, hell yeah, shower thought. Here we go.
I lost it. Hold on. Asking. Let me give a couple. Asking someone if they're dead is not a yes or no question.
There you go. I like that one. That's good.
Eating ramen with chopsticks is normal. Eating spaghetti with chopsticks is weird.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
did the one about the white. Let me see. Oh, this is deep. Well, I think I'll end on this one.
All right.
The
Make it good.
dreams that hurt you most aren't the nightmares, but the beautiful ones that you have to wake up from. Damn, that's deep. That is deep.
That's
That
beautiful,
was a good
Steve.
shower right there. That was deep, man.
Hell yeah. That's great.
Beautiful dream that you had to wake up from, and it's fucking
Oh,
like,
yeah.
gosh, shit, found in my life now.
Hell yeah. I like that
I
one,
don't
Steve. That
have
was a
that.
good one. That was wonderful. But yeah, I think it's a good place to stop it here.
Can I shout out to Mickey real quick?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Mickey, all the stories I hear and how great of an older sister you are. I mean, you picked up Daniel, you bought a McDonald's, you know what I mean? It seems like you always had at least $5 in your pocket growing up. You know, shout out to Mickey, the older sister that everyone wants. We should have her on the show one day.
Yeah, that'd be. She appeared on the show once.
Momentarily, not as a feature. We should feature her.
Momentarily. Yeah, we should feature her for something. Shout out to Mickey. But yeah, this is a good place to stop it. Once again, I just want to thank everyone who spent some time with us tonight, who liked and shared. I appreciate it all.
And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
And subscribe. My YouTube subscribers are going up. Let's see if we can hit last time I checked, I'm at 134. If we could hit 140, I'd appreciate it. You know, and we'll go from there on. But
135 right now.
Oh, badass! Thank you to the new subscriber. I appreciate that. Not trying to toot my own horn, but I think I am a good older sister for the most part. Yeah, you are, Meg. Absolutely. But yeah, thank you all for the support, for all the chatting going on. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing support for my brother. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Dan. It was good to talk to you, man. And hopefully it won't be too soon, or it'll the time will fly and you'll be back home to stay, and that'll be good, man.
Dude, you know what we're gonna do when you get home? I say it like you're in jail. When you come home, we're gonna fucking have a fucking party, dude. We're gonna have a party. I'm gonna drink a lot of scotch.
Hell yeah.
SWETZ will be there.
Yeah.
Matthew will be there.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, hopefully.
What were you gonna say?
I'd like to be on. I'd like to be on again. Hope I feel a little bit better. I think I would have been a little bit more lively if I wasn't feeling so tired and the allergies.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, we'll get you back on, man. Don't worry about it, man. Shout out to Jason Black, by the way. He just wanted to remind me that he was the 100th subscriber. Shout out to Jason Black, of course.
Well, you know what, Jason Black, I was the first subscriber, so go eat that. Eat that. Okay.
Were you really the first subscriber?
I was. That was the when you dropped
that's
on. You know, everyone wants to sit here and be like, "I was the 15th." It's an arbitrary number. All of a sudden, the 100th is important. We put so much importance on the 100th subscriber. It's nonsense. It's malarkey. Get out of here, Jason. Go somewhere. If you want to come on the show and talk about it, we don't have a guest for episode 21. At least I don't think we do. So you can come talk about it then. Okay?
Yeah, come by episode 21, Jason. We'll talk about it.
Come on, you best not miss.
But yeah, once again, thank you everyone for watching tonight. All the likes and the shares and the subscribes and the follows, everything's appreciated. I just, like the other night on Sunday, I hit over 1K followers on my Facebook page. I appreciate that as well. And that was cool. What do I have going on for the week? Steve, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything interesting going on in your world for the rest of the week?
I'm gonna read a book tomorrow.
Oh, that's badass.
Let's see if Fiona wants to order McDonald's because Daniel was talking about it earlier. So let's see
Right
if that's
now?
gonna happen. Yeah, he was talking about Mickey ordered a McDonald's. You guys don't think I listen. He was talking about Mickey got a McDonald's. So I'm gonna see if Fiona will get me McDonald's and or let me order it. Fuck it. It's Christmas time. It's fucking cold, dude.
It is cold, dude. You're right about that. But next week we definitely have to get in your Hereditary review. We've been sleeping on that for a couple of weeks now.
That movie sucked. Let me tell you right now.
Well, I want to hear about it. I'm gonna write that down on my calendar to make sure that we get that bit for next week.
I think Daniel's sleeping. It looks like his eyes are closed.
I think it's pitch black.
Oh my god, that's so scary. Frightening.
I'm
It's more
about to
scary
fall
than Hereditary, I'll tell you.
I've been up since 3 o'clock, so.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up right now. I said remember that you don't have to do a thing. Just get me that money I was promised. Oh yeah, that's right. I mentioned something about a giveaway. Yeah, it slipped my mind. Yeah, I'll you know what, Jason, I don't know, leave your PayPal link or your Cash App. I don't know, maybe we'll do something that way. But I don't want to hear your Hereditary suit. I hated it. So Mickey doesn't want to hear it, but I do. That's what the most important thing. But anyway, thanks again, Daniel, for coming on. We'll get you back on soon, no doubt. Thank you all for the watchers and the listeners, and thank you, special shout out to Mickey and Matt for supporting the show. Me, what do I have going on? Probably another Sunday stream of Visage Chapter 4. We'll probably wrap up the game then. Had a really good time last Sunday, this past Sunday, and we'll do it again. Maybe something in between. I'm not too sure, but we'll kind of see. Hopefully, it won't be too long until school's over, and I can get on a better schedule, more frequent schedule. But that's what I got going on. If you haven't, go check out Flake, the visualizers out on my YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere else. Go check that out and favorite it on wherever you listen to it. I appreciate that. I said I do want to hear her, Jerry, because I heard the moves. Okay, so she does want to hear it. Okay, so we definitely got to do that next week, Mickey. But anyway,
there's my review.
But anyway,
Stupid.
Thank you all for watching. This has been episode number 20 of the SWETZ and Steve Show. We will see you all again next week for episode number 21. Have a wonderful night. And as always, bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.